What up, guys? Gangsprings are back with a brand new episode of my monthly purchases. Today we are doing the monthly purchases for the month of November 2022, and it was quite the month. I went a little crazy. I went to another toy show. I celebrated my birthday, so that's why I was kind of like a little more generous with things. But I think it was a pretty successful month in terms of what I picked up. One in particular figure that I got, which was like kind of like a holy grail type figure, where it's someone that I've wanted for quite a bit, and ever since they announced him, I've always wanted him, and finally got it in hand, and it's everything that I wanted and more. So very happy about that one, and there are a lot of other cool things along the way. And like I said, went to the toy show. I'll put up some pictures that I took from the event. I didn't take too many photos. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy myself. I think because we had breakfast before we went, and it didn't really sit well with me. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say I was grumpy, but I wasn't the happiest there. So I didn't take too many photos. Took a few though. Bought some stuff, and as you can see from some of the screenshots, that there was a little blacked out thing. We'll talk about that in just a second. But you know what? Let's start talking about some goddamn figures, because I got a lot of cool stuff to show. And before we start showing off some figures, let's cue up that video where, if this is your first time watching, I'm about to basically show you a little video of what I collect and what collections I'm building up, so you can see what to expect. So without further ado, let's cue that up. Before I show off what I got for the month, I'm going to quickly go through what I'm collecting and what you can expect in this series, and it breaks down to 7 different collections. First one, we got Marvel Legends. For this, I mainly collect Spider-Man and X-Men, mainly anything that comes in those lines. I've broken down and basically started collecting one of each character. I don't collect everybody per se. There are characters where I will shy away from. Characters who I'm very not familiar with, I will stay away from. Unless they're on clearance and they're a good deal, I might snag them up. But I tend to just stick with characters that I'm familiar with or I know somewhat. And with the Marvel Legends, I don't collect any MCU figures. I mainly just do comic, video game, or animated show design characters. Next, I collect McFarlane's DC Multiverse. For this, I mainly just do Batman, his allies, his villains, just kind of get one of each. I am starting to build out some other collections like Flash and Green Lantern. Now I'm kind of looking to collect one of each major character. Major villains, major heroes, to kind of do like a Legion of Doom and a Justice League kind of setup. For this as well, no movie figures, strictly video game or comic-inspired designs. Next, I collect Transformers. For my Transformers collection, I only collect Beast Wars figures, or animal characters, whatever you'd like to say. With this, I started collecting with the Kingdom line, and that has transitioned to the Transformers Legacy line, so that's what I'm collecting now. I also collect the retro Beast Wars figures, and for this, I'm just kind of looking to collect the one of each, Predacons, Maximals, stuff like that. Next, I collect Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. With this one, it's a little weird. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I respect them more than I like them. I grew up somewhat with them, but I'm not crazy about them. But I like them enough to where I want some representation of them in my collection. So that's why I've decided to collect the Loyal Subjects Best Action line. For this, I just really want the Turtles and Shredder. They are creating other characters, but for me, I want to collect all 4 Turtles and Shredder. And once I have that, I'll start to collect some of the other figures. But if they decide to end the line eventually, I'll be happy with having the Turtles and having Shredder. Next, I collect video game characters. For this, I mainly collect characters from video games that kind of mean something to me, my favorite games. I also collect some figures of characters from other games, kind of, bigger games, Sonic, Mario, stuff like that. But I tend to just pick characters from games that I really care about. Next, I collect Power Rangers. For this, I collect Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection. With this, I'm looking to collect one of each ranger, each villain, just one of each. There's also a couple different items in the Lightning Collection. They're starting to do the Zords, and they do some roleplay items. For me, I do plan on collecting the Zord Ascension Project as they release more of that. In terms of roleplay items, not for me. For me, I just I'm just about the figures. And then last but not least, I collect wrestling figures. For this, I collect mainly WWE Elite Style or AEW Unrivaled Unmatched. I collect both those lines. I'm just looking to collect one of each wrestler. And fun fact about this collection in particular, it is the only collection of mine that I take out of box for whatever reason. Everything else stays in the box, and I display it as such. So now that you know what I collect, let's see what additions are going to be coming to my collection this month. There it is. You see the 7 things I collect. And you know what? I gotta say that video is a little outdated now because today is the day where we start a new collection. Yes. Now it is no longer 7 things that I collect. It is now 8. So, a little bit of story time. I will put a timestamp if you want to skip the story. If you want to stay and enjoy, thank you. I would say for the beginning portion of October, I don't really know how it came on my radar, to be honest, but I was really looking at Dragon Ball figures. Now, Dragon Ball is always a collection that, I watched the show as a kid, absolutely loved it. One of my favorite shows. I haven't watched very many animes, but it's one of my favorite animes of the few that I've watched, and I've always wanted to collect something regarding that, right? I guess I was just like on Big Bad Toy Store or something like that, and they had some pre-orders up, and I was just kind of looking at the figures, and then I was kind of like, I kind of want to start a collection. So I was doing research. Now, with the Dragon Ball toys, there's 2 ways you can go, and I kind of compare it to the TMNT series that I collect, where for me, I collect the Best Action line, and that's kind of on the lower tier of TMNT figures. Or you can go super high tier, which is the NECA Turtles. And that's kind of what Dragon Ball has as well, where they have the Dragon Ball Stars. That's kind of like the more entry level one. You can use it as a collector item, or you can play with it, whatever you like to do. Or you got that top tier figure of Dragon Ball, the SH Figure Warts. And I was doing a lot of research because I'm like, okay, I want to collect Dragon Ball. I love it. Holds a special place in my heart. Which way do I want to go? Do I want to go the super expensive route, which is kind of crazy? Or do I kind of want to go like TMNT, the more entry-level one, easily more available compared to the SH Figure Warts one where, you got to get it on the black market. Like, there's no one that really sells it outright. You're not going to find it at a Walmart, at a GameStop, Amazon. You might find it on Amazon, but it's not sold by Amazon. And the Dragon Ball, I think it's Stars, that you can find more regularly. You can find it at a GameStop, Toys R Us, Amazon, Walmart, basically wherever you buy figures. So I was just kind of doing research on what's been released, what's out there, how much is out there of each line, really kind of contemplating which way I wanted to go, the kind of cheaper route or the more expensive route. So, and I was just debating if I wanted to collect it in general. And just the weirdest thing that was kind of like a guiding light for me. So I was watching this Netflix documentary called Killer Sally. It's about a female bodybuilder who married a male bodybuilder. They got married, had a relationship. And one day, something, I won't spoil it in case you want to watch it, she ends up shooting the husband and shooting him twice and killing him. Anyways, she goes to jail for 25 years. And she had 2 kids from a previous relationship. And they were kind of estranged from their mom, obviously, because she was in jail for 25 years. And at the end of the Netflix documentary, they set up this kind of reunion between her and her daughter. And her daughter has a kid of her own, and she has a son. And the son, he's there with the grandma and the mom, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And what the fuck does the kid have in his hands? He has Dragon Ball Z figures. He could have had anything. He could have had Star Wars, wrestling, Power Rangers, He-Man, Fortnite, whatever the fuck, Transformers, but he had fucking Dragon Ball Z figures. And I was like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. I know it sounds so dumb, but that to me was like, okay, you need to start collecting Dragon Ball. Like that right there was your sign to like, okay, go ahead with it and start collecting it. So I'm like, all right, that was my sign from above. Like, okay, I'm going to start collecting Dragon Ball Z figures. I was tasked with the decision of which way do I want to go? Cheap route, expensive route, which one? So I went to my local comic shop. Actually, fun fact, AEW superstar Ethan Page, every Sunday he uploads a toy vlog. And he actually went to my local toy shop with Danhausen, another AEW wrestler, and Kevin Smith made an appearance, and he did a whole vlog. I'll put it in the description if you want to, he did a pretty good video on it and showed off the whole comic shop, a lot of cool stuff there. So I'll link that in the description if you want to watch it. I highly recommend it. It was pretty good. And so I go to my local comic shop, which is Gotham Central. I looked on their website to see if they had the SH Figure Warts. And they had one. They had Goku Black, I believe is what it's called. All I know, he has the pink hair when he's Super Saiyan. And it's not really Goku, it's like a clone. I'm not too familiar with that character. That's like the newer stuff, the Dragon Ball Super stuff. When I previously went, they had the Dragon Ball Stars stuff. So I went and I was looking at the Dragon Ball Stars. I was looking at the SH Figure Warts one. And I was kind of like debating. Like, I had one in one hand, one in the other, and I was kind of like, okay, which one am I going to go with? Which one? And I ended up making a decision, and I will show you what I got. I ended up getting, and this would be the start of the collection, I went the stupid route. I went the SH Figure Warts route, and I got my first one, Captain Ginyu. Not the figure I'm most happy about getting. Like, if I were to start this collection, he wouldn't be, like, really my first choice. But when I was doing a lot of research on these figures, the thing with them is, like, there's 100 Goku figures. There's 100 Vegeta figures. There's not too many figures of the villains. So the villains kind of have slim pickings, so I can kind of pick a Captain Ginyu, and I know that's going to be like the only one, unless they do like a battle damage version. So with Goku, I got to kind of do more research, and some of the heroes where like, what version do I want to get? Like, there's tons of versions, like Goku, regular Goku, Super Saiyan 1 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan God Goku, Kaioken Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku. That right there is like 7 or 8 options of Goku, right? So, like, I don't know which one I want to get, and I don't really want to make a brash decision. So I was thinking about it in their selection, and they actually had more. Like I said, they had the Dragon, or on the website they only had Goku Black, but in store they actually had way more options. So I was kind of looking at all of them, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with Captain Ginyu. He's gonna be my first one. Also, when I was doing a lot of research, was the SH Figure Warts. You got to be careful because there is a lot of knockoffs when it comes to these figures. So, like I said, if you're going to get into a collection line and you're going to spend lots of money on these figures, do your research. Like, there is so much research to do, and I had to do mine. So with SH Figure Warts, there is a couple different things you can tell by seeing if it is a legitimate one or not. The biggest one, I talked to a guy at the toy show as well, because I was like, hey, can you I'm looking to get into this collection. What can you kind of tell me about it? And he was like, the biggest one is this blue Bandai logo. If that's there, it's legitimate. And also this sticker right here. Those are the two kind of telltale signs that this is like a legitimate figure. So I was like, okay, I appreciate that. And yeah, let's take a look at Captain Ginyu, leader of the Ginyu Force. I actually have a funny story about the Ginyu Force I'll tell here in a second, but let's show off the box. Now, this was the first one I bought. I was going to start with 2 when I went to Gotham Central, because I'm like, if I buy one figure, I can kind of back out, right? Like, I'm not committed to the line. But if I buy 2 figures, okay, I'm in it. I can't get back out of it. This is for real. But I ended up just going with the one because, like I said, the SH Figure Warts are 2 or 3 times more than, like, the Dragon Ball Stars figures, depending on who you get, And some of the older figures, very expensive, very hard to get. There's, like, some exclusive ones that were, like, at Comic-Con or something like that. So they're pretty hard to come by, and then you got to see if it's, like, fake or not. So let's just take a look at the box real quick. So here's the Ginyu, Captain Ginyu from the Ginyu Force from Dragon Ball Z. You got 4 different heads. You got One head up there, kind of a screaming head. You got one here with a grin. You got one over here, who I guess you just saw Goku or something. It's kind of like a surprised look. You also got the visor. You can pop it onto each head. You can see there's a little nook there that you can pop it onto. And then there's another head down here, a very angry head. It comes with the Dragon Ball with the number 4. And there's a couple other hands. They're in here. You can't really see because this is in the way. But yes, I decided to go with the SH Figuarts one. Is it a dumb choice? I'm going to be honest, probably. But I'm trying not to regret my decision. So we'll show the box off real quick. There it is in all its glory. There's a little side shot, Ginyu. Here's the top shot. Little side profile. The bottom. And then the back. You can see his ridiculous pose. You can do that. And this hasn't been opened. Tape is perfect. I don't plan on opening it, but if I'm going to spend a lot of money, I want to make sure that these haven't been opened. So, yeah, the first in my collection, Captain Ginyu, starting the Dragon Ball Z collection. One thing I don't really like about the box, for me personally, because I'm an in-box collector, it's hard to kind of display. Like, for example, my kind of looking around to see what I can grab. We'll grab a Power Rangers figure, for example. So here is a Lightning Collection figure. Boom, beautiful box, whatever. But I have them displayed like this, and I can kind of see, I would kind of call it like a bookshelf or bookcase kind of display, where you can kind of see the figure, who it is, and compare it to everything on the box. Like, I'm not going to display like that. So my options are either like this or like this. With the SH Figuarts one, my options for displaying are like this, or I lay it on its back and show the bottom, and then you can kind of see who it is. So I just think it's kind of a weird choice, because eventually if I do get more figures of the SH Figuarts, I will probably end up displaying them like this, so they'll be kind of stacked on top of each other, which I think will look kind of dumb, but it kind of is what it is. But right now my collection's pretty small. I got this one, and I did get one more. I got another one at the toy show. Like I said, the guy I was talking to about, can you tell me a little bit about the Figuarts collection? Like, what should I look out for in terms of fakes and stuff? And we kind of hit it off. And he had a pretty good selection, so I'm like, I gotta walk away with one of these. And I was like, what is like the rarest one out of all the ones that you had? And he showed me, and I was like, okay, I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go with that one. I am gonna tell my Captain Ginyu story. Let me just pull out the other, let me pull out the other figure, because I kind of hyped it up already. And that person is another villain. Kind of. I would classify him as a villain. But we are talking about Broly Full Power. This is Broly from the Dragon Ball Broly movie that came out somewhat recently. I believe it's like 2 years now? Something like that. And he was like, this is probably like the rarest one that I have, and the hardest one to get. So I was like, you know what? I'll grab this one. Broly's a cool character. Not too familiar with him, to be honest. I've always seen Broly around in Dragon Ball Z. Just like he would be in like, I'd see figures of him, I'd see like images of him, but he never appeared in the anime. I did watch the Dragon Ball Broly movie, this one, that came out whenever. I watched it earlier this year. And I enjoyed it. That was my first kind of introduction to Broly. But, like, I've seen him in games and other kind of stuff like that. But, like, it was only kind of somewhat recently where I'm like, oh, this is Broly. Oh, very cool character. Here he is. He has only one head sculpt, but with this figure, you can change his face. You can change his faceplate. So he's got, like, a sinister grin on the top there. He's got a screaming look on the second one there. Pretty neutral look on the one that he's already got. And then, was there another face? No, I guess it was the hands I was looking at. I thought he had another faceplate, but that's not too bad. I think those are all the expressions that you would want from Broly. And he is a hulking figure. Like, there is Broly. There we go. And here is Captain Ginyu. So, a little bit bigger of a box. Definitely wider. as you can see here. And like I said, Broly is quite a thick boy. He is very muscular, and he's just a really cool character. So let's show off the box. We'll pull out Ginyu in a second. Here he is. Side shot. Nothing there. A little bit of the figures, or shots of the figure. Bottom, or sorry, that's the top. This is the bottom here. And then the back. And there is Gogeta. Why is this not focusing? There we go. Why is it giving me so much issues? Here is a shot of Gogeta, Super Saiyan God Gogeta, who maybe, I'll pick up eventually. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on just kind of getting like one of each character. I do want to get a Broly where he's just normal, because like this says, this is Super Saiyan Broly full power. So I do want like a plain looking Broly. And yeah, there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z figures to get. Not even just Dragon Ball Z. You got Dragon Ball, you got Dragon Ball Z, you got Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super. A lot of I'm not too familiar with the Super. For me, my experience with Dragon Ball was I watched a little bit of Dragon Ball, watched almost everything of Dragon Ball Z, watched a little bit of GT, and I'm like, wow, this shit sucks. Like, this is very much a downgrade from the previous show. And Dragon Ball Super, I have not watched anything besides like the movie of Broly. So I'm just gonna kind of show what they look like if I were to stack them up. So then you can kind of see who's who. I'm guessing the villains come in purple, or is that just these two boxes? I'm not too sure. But these guys have purple backing, so not too sure about that. So let me tell my Captain Ginyu story. I'll just set them up here. So I was working with this girl, and she had just finished her shift, and she went to the bathroom to change clothes because we had a uniform, whatever, and she comes back out, and she's got a cool t-shirt on. She's got a Dragon Ball Z shirt, and it's the Ginyu Force, and they're in their stupid poses. And I'm like, oh shit, dope shirt. And we start talking about Dragon Ball Z and the Ginyu Force and stuff like that. And then we were talking about the Ginyu Force, and we couldn't remember somebody. There's 5 members of the Ginyu Force. There's Captain Ginyu. The way I kind of know them is like there's the purple one, Captain Ginyu. There's a red one, blue one, green one, and a human one. So when we were talking about it, we couldn't think of one of them. It was the... I won't spoil that. We couldn't think of one of them. We're like, there's 5 of them, but we can only bring up 4. Who are we missing? And we're just racking our brains. And then I kind of look at her in the eyes, and she looks down at her shirt. And I'm like, is it okay to look? Because I didn't want her to think I was looking at her tits. I just wanted to look at your shirt to see who the fuck the 5th member of the Ginyu Force was. And she's like, yeah, you can look. And then we remembered, oh shit, it was the human guy. I believe his name is Raccoon. Yeah, it was just a funny moment where she's like, yeah, you can look at my shirt. Like, I'm not going to think that you're looking at my tits. So I just thought it was like a dumb story, but I thought it was kind of funny. So I'll always have that special memory thanks to the Ginyu Force. So it kind of worked out that Captain Ginyu was my first pickup. But yeah, this is the start of a new collection. I don't know how often we can expect these. Because like I said, they are more on the expensive side, and they are very hard to get. If you know any places where I can buy, like any trusted sources where I can buy Dragon Ball SH Figuarts figures, let me know. As far as I know right now, I know Big Bad Toy Store sells some. They had some up for pre-order the other day. If you know any others that are kind of like reasonable, and I'm not going to get shit on with the shipping and handling and conversion and import fees, because I do live in Canada, keep that in mind. But if you know any places, any different websites that I might not be familiar with, let me know in the comment section. So yeah, new collection. And I am pretty excited about this one. Honestly, it's kind of rekindled my love of Dragon Ball. I've actually, there's a Dragon Ball movie I want to watch, Dragon Ball F Resurrection, and haven't watched that one. So I've kind of wanted to go back and start watching Dragon Ball stuff after getting back into collecting. But yeah, this will now be a part of my collection. So I hope you guys are excited. I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but actually every collection of this episode, everything that I collect, has an edition for it. So this is actually quite the action-packed episode. Let's start out with... Well, actually, we already started out with Dragon Ball. Let's move on to Transformers. Transformers Beast Wars. This was another figure I picked up at the toy show. I kind of talked about this on the last episode where Transformers and Hasbro, they've been pretty quiet in regards to Beast Wars figures. And I think this would kind of be the time you'd want to pump them out, because the next Transformer movie is fucking Rise of the Beasts or whatever it's called. But basically, they're incorporating the Beast Wars figures, or Beast Wars characters. You know they're going to push you out tons of merchandise. The new stuff, probably some of the old stuff. So, like, I don't really know what they're kind of dragging their feet for. If they've stopped it altogether, I'm not too sure. But something I mentioned in the last figure monthly pickup video, I was like, you know, if I don't get anything from Hasbro, I might try and get some of the older Beast Wars figures. And that's what I did. I saw this at the toy show, and I was like, holy shit, that's cool. It was for a good price. I'm like, I don't know if Hasbro's going to pump out any more, so I'm like, let me buy this. So that figure is from the original collection. We've got Beast Wars character Maximal Snarl. He is not some random character. I know you might be like, who the fuck is that? He's actually one of the main characters. So Beast Wars obviously was an American show. In Japan, they continued the Beast Wars series, and they had their own spin-off. I think it was called Beast Wars Neo or Beast Wars 2. And I remember I tried to watch episode 1. I watched a little bit of it. I couldn't get into it because it was like in Japanese and subtitles, and I didn't really want to read, but I could just kind of watch the animation and stuff. This is actually one of the characters that is in that show. He's one of the main characters, and here he is, Snarl, and he is a Tasmanian devil. The box is a little dinged up here and a little at the bottom here. That's my fault. So I didn't mention this in this video. I mentioned it on a Gangster Plays, but basically as I was walking out of the convention, I had my bag full of figures. I'm walking out. It snowed earlier just as we came in, and as I was walking out, I was walking down a slope, wiped the fuck out, banged the shit out of my knees, which I'm still in pain, both my knees, but I digress. And I landed on my bag, and this is actually the only casualty of me kind of crushing my figures. The plastic got a little dented in and a little bit banged up here. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape. And like I said, this is the original Beast Wars figure. This is from, let's see if it shows the date. 1996. Right there. Original. That's fucking crazy. Why is my camera having such a hard time fucking focusing? But yeah, here he is, Snarl. He is a Tasmanian devil. And there is his robot form as he can transform. And here he is. Like I said, there's the classic packaging. So there's his box. Not really much to show off. There's instructions if you're not too familiar with how to change. Nothing on the sides because this is just a carded figure. But there it is. A little beat up here. Probably my fault. And yeah, this is just a really cool one. Kenner, not Hasbro. And one thing I really like about this, and I really like about this on like older figures, is just kind of looking at what else is in the wave and like what else I kind of want. And I was looking at the list and I'm like, Clawjaw, I want that. And a couple other cool figures, some that I'm going to try and hunt down, and some that I kind of have already. You know, Inferno is going to be coming out soon with Transformers Legacy. So, yeah, there he is. Maximal's on the top, Predacon's on the bottom. Transformers there. This is the Canadian figure, so you get the French translations as well. That's why there's so much text on the figures compared to, like, I'll just show the retro carded release. Similar boxes, basically, but a lot less writing. Not for some reason, you know, Canada has two official languages. English and Canadian. English and French. So for all the French speakers, that's why there's so much other writing on the boxes. It does get kind of messy. Like, it's just a lot of words on the front there. It's kind of distracting. But But yeah, here he is on the box. Here are his stats. And there is a little bio of him if you're interested. Pause the video and read that out. And yeah, just another cool addition to my Beast Wars collection. I had to go back in time for this one. And I was comparing it to my Wolfgang. This is a newer release, a retro-carded release. As you can see by the box, this definitely looks older, a little more beat up. And they kind of go together. They would fit in the, what's the word I'm looking for? They scale together. And then we'll look at the back. So this is the newer design. This is the classic one. And then we can see on the Wolfgang box, it says 2022. Right there. Right there. I thought it was not focusing again. So a good addition to my Beast Wars collection, and very happy about this one. Now we are going to move on to my video game collection. You know, something that I mentioned on the last video was, you know, I got another toy show I'm going to in October, and with this toy show, it was also combined with a video game show. So the past few times I've went on these toy shows, it's been kind of packaged with a comic show. And this time they had a video game show instead of the comic show. So I was kind of excited where I was like, oh man, I might find some really cool, rare video game figures. And I was pretty disappointed that I did not really get that. It was just people selling old vintage consoles. They were cool to see, but that wasn't what I was there for. The closest thing I saw were people selling amiibos, but that's not really what I'm into. So unfortunately, I didn't get anything cool video game-wise from the toy show or the video game show. But I did see a cool little thing on Big Bad Toy Store. You know, we were talking about SH Figuarts a little bit earlier, and they're going to be making another appearance because they actually created this next figure, which is a classic video game character, which is the little yellow circle man himself, Pac-Man. I was just kind of browsing Big Bad Toy Store. I was kind of looking at video game figures. And I kind of stumbled upon this guy, and like I said, this is made by Figuarts, SH Figuarts. We can see the logo there, the blue Bandai logo, and the special little sticker there, the Tamahashi Nations, the authentic sticker. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool figure, and it kind of scales with my other video game figures. I'll show that in a second. But yeah, here is Pac-Man. Pretty small, small little box, but nice big little figure, and I like the packaging a lot. I like the ghosts, the cherry, the Pac-Man itself, the little dots. As you can see here, nice round yellow figure. And it comes with another face. This is a winking face, as you can see there. Here he's got his eyes open. And then here he's got a left winky face, or left eye winking. And you also get a red ghost here, cherry here, and he comes with an extra set of hands down here, and another set of hands over there. Comes with a thumbs up, as you can see right here, with his winky face. And yeah, so it's just a little faceplate that you take off, and then you can put on that one if you'd like. And let's show off the box real quick. So like I said, SH Figuarts. Nice little shot of Pac-Man running. This is our 3D Pac-Man. We're used to seeing Pac-Man like this. Little yellow guy with a triangular mouth looking to eat some ghosts. But this is a 3D Pac-Man. So here he is, and here he is with his other face and his thumbs up hand. And the accessories, the ghosts and the cherry. And yeah, I think this is a really cool figure. Honestly, when I saw it, I was like, I gotta get that in my collection. I'm not the biggest Pac-Man fan, but that's freaking cool. So we're gonna kind of compare him to, I just pulled one figure off my shelf, which was Sonic. And I would say for the most part, they're pretty in size. Like with video game stuff, I'm kind of, I'm very loose, you know? Nothing really has to be in scale because video game characters come in all shapes and sizes. Shapes and sizes, bigger one. But yeah, I think for the most part, they kind of scale together. Pac-Man is a little bigger, but I think in terms of height... Oh, I wasn't looking at the camera. In terms of height, I would say they're pretty similar, which is nice. Obviously, Pac-Man's a little more girthy. pretty thick box, where Sonic's a little twig. But in terms of height, I would say they would go together. And this was like only 20 bucks. Like, when you see SH Figure Arts, you think like high-end stuff. I guess this is just something that they kind of want to clear out. So yeah, this was only 20 bucks. Pretty good price. Not going to complain about that. You can get a nice little figure, and it's from a very reputable company. So that was really cool. Really like this one. Next, we are jumping into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in the Half Shell. Turtle Power. Those turtles, in case you were confused about maybe the adult Ninja Turtles, but these are the Teenage Mutant Ninja ones. So yeah, we have got 2 new additions here. First one up, we've got Donatello to complete my TMNT Turtle collection. We will compare them all in a second, but there's really not much to compare because it's pretty much the same figure 4 times over. But here is Donatello, the last one in the collection. Again, this is the Best Action line. And we see Donnie here. He comes with his little stick here, a slice of pizza, a holder for his stick, which you can attach to the back. And you get 2 heads, a bunch of hands. This is purple, so you know it's Donatello. There's Donnie on the back. Nothing on the side there. Nothing on the top. And nothing on the bottom. Not too much to say about these figures. But let's show off all the turtles. Hopefully they will all fit in the shot. Something tells me they will not. There is Leo. Leo is missing. We got Raph, we got Donnie, we got Mikey, and we've got Leonardo. Let me see if I can kind of angle this so we can see everybody in shot. As you can see, everyone is pretty much the same. Same color, nothing different. The boxes are pretty much all the same, as we can see here. I don't know why I did that, because then I got to fix this. Box is pretty much the same. The figures are all the same shade. They just each come with their own distinctive color and weapons. So, not really much to compare, but I finally do have all 4 turtles. And they do look pretty sick together, I've got to say. The turtles are complete. Now I just need like a Splinter. I need a Krang. The Krang and the Bebop that are coming out. Or Rocksteady, sorry. But I did say that we're getting 2 additions to the TMNT collection. That was the first one, Donatello. The second one is a pretty cool one. I remember when I first saw this, I was like, holy shit, that actually looks pretty cool. And that is the very popular character, Casey Jones. I think this one turned out pretty well. There's kind of more to talk about instead of the turtles, where the turtles are kind of, like I said, it's basically the same figure 4 times over. So if I said it once, I don't want to say it 4 times. But yeah, here's Casey Jones. I think this one turned out very, very well. Casey Jones himself, I think, looks really cool. Him with the hockey mask looks awesome. And then you got a human head for him there. A lot of cool weapons. You got the hockey stick. You got the baseball bat. I think one of these was a cricket, or was supposed to be a cricket. Or am I tripping balls? Maybe it's both hockey. Obviously, it's hockey because he's got the hockey mask. Was it cricket? I don't know, whatever. Fuck it. That's not a cricket bat, I believe. I think that's just a regular baseball bat. There's a little baggie for him to hold all his weapons. And as you can see, Eastman, that is, I believe that's one of the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Scott Eastman, I believe, or Kevin Eastman. Something along those lines. Not the biggest turtle fan. I don't know too much about like the creators and stuff like that. I just like the turtles themselves. But yeah, here is Casey Jones. I think this looks pretty wicked. I think they killed it with this one. Nice little shot of Casey on the side there. Here he is on the back. All the accessories that he comes with. Nothing really on the side here. Nothing really on the bottom. And nothing really on the top. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. We'll put him together with Donatello, my 2 new additions. And I guess let's get Raph. Raph and Casey have quite a bit of history. So there they are together. But I do want to include Donatello because he is a new addition. You know what? Fuck you, Raph. You're getting the... You're not important here. What's important is my 2 new additions, Casey Jones and Donatello. And honestly, I think the TMNT stuff is going to kind of slow down. Right now, I've kind of collected every character that I could. Now, basically what they've been releasing that I've been seeing, I follow them on Instagram. They've kind of been releasing the turtles in different costumes. One of them is like, they have these jackets on. One of them is like a classic comic book look where they all have the red bandana. I know Wave 3 is supposed to be coming out soon with, it's Krang in the Walker. It's Rocksteady. I don't remember the other two. They haven't really announced anything more than that. They did announce something cool. We'll talk about that in the news section. So I don't know when the next time we'll get a new addition to the TMNT collection is. Like I said, I only collect the best action line, so we'll have to wait for them to produce some more figures before we collect. So obviously the next one is going to be the Krang and the Walker and Rocksteady. When that comes out, I think it was supposed to come out this month, November, but I'm guessing it can come out any month now. So might be here for the next video. It might not. We'll have to wait to see. But yeah, that is my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection. We are moving on to the Power Rangers Lightning collection. I got 3 editions. 2 of them are cool. One of them you're going to judge me for. Let's talk about the one you're going to judge me for first. And that is the 2-pack of SPD B Squad versus SPD A Squad, blue. Both of them blue, as you can see here. I'm going to be honest, and I know I'm going to get judged for this. I already own this. Now, I think for me to explain why I bought another one, a visual presentation will be better. So I took a photo. This is what my collection looks like right now. So, as you can see, the 2-pack is connected. On the left side, you have the rest of the SPD B Squad, and on the right side, you have the rest of SPD A Squad. And for some reason, I don't like how that looks. I don't like how you have how the 2-pack's kind of facing forward, or everything else is kind of in the bookshelf form. So, you know, Black Friday happened. They had this on a pretty good deal, so that's what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. I know, not that crazy of a change. Some people are probably going to be like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, you really didn't need to. I know. Don't judge me, please. One, I got it for a good price, so I didn't feel too bad about it. I like how it looks now much more. The teams just kind of looked weird together, but now it kind of looks better, where SPD A Squad and B Squad, you know, everyone's in line. You got the Red Rangers facing each other, and then everyone after that on the sides. And I'm going to be honest, my Power Ranger shelf, my Lightning Collection shelf, is getting kind of full. And if I were to keep the 2-pack sideways, it takes up a lot more room. And I just saw that Wave 12 and 13 were just released. Deluxe Wave 2 was just released. So I don't know when I'm going to be getting those figures, but I got to start making room for those on my shelf. So that's one of the reasons why I did this. And yeah, so I know it's such a dumb reason, but it makes more room on the shelf, which I can get more figures. And, you know, that's what we all want. We all want more figures. So, yeah, that's what I've done with my collection. But we can take a look at this here. SPD B Squad on the left. We got Sky. Actually, I'm not too familiar with SPD. SPD was the last Power Rangers show that I stopped watching during this season. This was the season where I'm like, God, I'm too old for this, to be watching this. And I remember, I was still in school, I don't know what grade, but I remember they would show new episodes every Saturday morning. I was probably in my early teens or something like that. And, yeah, I would have to wake up early. Like, it would air at 6:30 or 7 in the morning, and I'm like, I am not gonna fucking do that on a Saturday morning to watch fucking Power Rangers. So, this was the last season that I really watched, so I don't want to say it holds a special place in my heart, but, you know, I have a semi-attachment to it, so I'm somewhat familiar. Not too familiar, just a little bit. But yeah, we have SPD Blue, or B Squad here, Blue, Sky, like I said before. Comes with the Morpher, which is also like, He can capture villains in it because he is a cop. A couple different hands here, human head, different weapons. I don't know what his weapons are. I don't know what. I'm assuming this combines with this and it turns into a gun. But I'm assuming this is like a baton type weapon. And yeah, it looks all right. And then we got SPD A Squad here. This one is, the head is a reuse of the space in Space Blue. Not completely, because they did attach all that fun stuff on the back. But for the most part, it is kind of a redeco helmet-wise. Everything else below that is new stuff. But he comes with his little assault rifle here, a little blaster effect, and a couple different hands here. He doesn't come with a human head. I believe these guys are all aliens. So we didn't get that, but we'll just show off the box real quick. We already know what it looks like on the side, but that's how it will be displayed on my shelf. One side will, and the other side will look like this. There's the top, blue and blue. A lot of blue on this package. And on the back, nice shot of them fighting together. Not really a new addition. I wasn't even going to show this, but I'm like, I did get it in November, you know, so I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to show it off. So, not a new thing to my collection, but I think it does make my collection a little bit nicer, in my opinion. But the Power Ranger Lightning Collection stuff I was waiting for is the following. These two here, I finally got in. The first half of the Street Fighter crossover, we've got Ryu, who is Crimson Hawk Ranger. I'm still trying to get used to the names. This is Blazing Phoenix, Crimson Hawk, and then you got Ken and Cammy, who are coming at a later date. This is my first experience with the plastic-free packaging. We will show Chun-Li off first. Here she is in her plastic-free packaging, as you can see right there, and we will compare it to what it kind of looks like now. What the boxes look like. So there it is. This is considered a deluxe figure, so it's a little more expensive than the regular figure. You get a lot of accessories, and it is a wider box, I believe, to accommodate that. So I don't think the other figures like Wave 12, or Wave 12 is going to be in the old style, but Wave 13 I don't believe is going to be this wide. I could be wrong. But we'll do a little box. Did I show off all the sides? I showed off the back, all the accessories. Nice little shot of Chun-Li there. There's Chun-Li herself. Unfortunately, we don't get this head, which I think is one of the downfalls. Not downfall. Downfall sounds very dramatic. One of the drawbacks of this figure. No Chun-Li head. But nice little action shot of her there. See Chun-Li there. And here is her in her Ranger form. I think this actually turns out pretty cool. This is how I actually have her displayed. We'll get Ryu as well. This is how I have them displayed on my shelf. We'll get a couple other figures to kind of compare the boxes, how I have them displayed. And of course, these figures that I'm about to pull out, in no particular reason did I choose this selection of Rangers, you know, but we have Mighty Morphin White, Mighty Morphin Green, and Zeo Red. As you know, Jason David Frank, Tommy, just passed away. Very tragic, super sad about that. And I decided to commemorate him by bringing out his figures. I'm just kind of showing off how it looks on my shelf. So this is the old style, this is the new style, and then we have the old style again. They don't look too bad together. It doesn't fit with the old style, but I don't think it stands out that much. Like, I still think they kind of look good together, so... We'll take out the old figures, but we're going to start with Chun-Li. Did I finish showing off the box? I don't think I did. So there we can see Street Fighter. There's Cammy. That's Ken, I believe. Can't really see with the glare, but there you see like Mighty Morphin logos. There's a Pterodactyl, Street Fighter logo, plastic-free packaging. We showed off the sides, showed off the back. I have not opened this yet. I've been wanting to, because I'm really curious how this turned out. But as we can see, tape is still sealed. Sealed there, and there's tape on the bottom. There's one piece there, and one piece here. So we're going to open it live on camera. Got to make sure everything is good. Got my trusty fake pocket knife that's actually a envelope opener. So let me cut the tape. And I want to do as good a job as I can because I will be repacking this. Boom, nice little seamless cut. Let's do the same on the bottom. Reason I'm doing the bottom is because there's a little flap here. So we just kind of pull it out without damaging the box. There we go. Been wanting to check this out in hand. You know, now with the plastic-free packaging, you don't know what you're getting anymore. You don't know if the paint apps suck. You don't know if you're missing anything. But here it is. Nice little compartment. I think there's a little too much cardboard. I don't think you really need all that. This whole bottom, like this little, like it's nothing. I guess this was just to hold the instructions, like it's supposed to go through or something like that. That's really for nothing. So yeah, there it is. How do I get her out without ripping or breaking anything? Looking at the box, it kind of opens here. Okay. So we just lift up. Boom. Okay. Not too bad. We'll look at the accessories first. If they want to come out. I do like the little baggie, though. I like the little design on them with the Marvel figures that we unboxed last week. Or last month, sorry. They were just in a plain baggie. With the Power Ranger ones, we get designs. Alright. They are really stuck in there. They really fucking did a good job of setting everything in there and making it hard as shit to pull out. Because you got to stand in there and you got all the fucking blast effects. So I'm trying to take this out without ripping the bag. Okay, I finally got everything out. The biggest piece of shit was the stand. It was kind of keeping everything in. So let's show off all our things. So first, we got two little hands here. Two little, I guess you can use them as kind of karate chop hands, but they're kind of more like posing hands. They're just solid whites with a little peg. Actually, something to see. Are they the same? Okay, they're different hands. Sometimes they send two left hands, two right hands, so you got to be careful with that. Next, let's take a look at the effects. First, we've got a nice blue translucent. This is a kind of fire blast effect. I think it looks good. I like that a lot. Then we've got the kick effect. That's what's on the front of the box. Boop. Like that. Kind of like... Wait, what kind of fucking angle do they have it on? I guess it'd kind of be like that, yeah. But, I was going to put on her foot, but I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't taken her out yet. But, yeah, here's the kick effect. You would slide her foot in there. And then we've got the Blazing Phoenix. Little fire blast. Little electric blast. Looks cool. I like this a lot, actually. Now we've got the stand. Hope to God I can take this apart after. Okay, I think I can. This stick can come out very easily. I'm trying to push it in as much as I can, and it doesn't. There's no clicking, so it just kind of pops out. But it isn't really meant to be like played with, because you just kind of set it up, and then is there a little hole to put this in? Yes, there is. There's a little hole on the bottom, and you would put it in here. So you can see the little hole there. You can go in a little bit. And then we set this up here. Boom. And I don't know if this one can be set up. Oh, it can. It's got a little hole on the bottom. You can set it up there. And this one goes on the side. The little hole is right here, so it'd be like this. Why not like this? Oh, whatever. Accessories are fun and all, but I want the figure. Let's check out the figure. Let's see. Again, trying not to destroy. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Moment of truth. She does look very cool. Like, just the blue and the little chest armor that we can see. Ta-da-da! Damn, it looks pretty sick. I actually like that a lot. Yeah, and the little things rotate on her head. Ooh, that is cool. Sorry, I'm kind of in awe because like the figure does look really cool. It does look very loosey, like it's kind of like a bobblehead. So I guess the torso is a little loose. The armband's falling down a little bit. Rotate it here. Trying to like bend her arm. I don't want to break it or anything. But yeah, you got the spiky gauntlets. They look cool. My torso is a little loose, as you can see. But I think it looks good. I like the chest piece. There's even a little design on the neck. You can see that. Helmet looks good. You can move these if you'd like. Maybe you're doing like a running pose. So it'd be like kind of backwards, wind blowing in her hair. Not her blowing in her helmet. But yeah, I think this looks really good. Let's take a look at the morpher. You can't really tell anything. Like, that one is way more detailed. And here it's just... like, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's supposed to be a bird. But you can't really tell. Compared to that, that is... like, look at the detail on that. It's even got detail on the back, too. It's got little ridges and stuff. Whatever. But I think it still looks good. I think her dress looks good. Boots. The gold on it looks nice. The gold trim. Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm just trying to see if there's any paint issues. And I wasn't looking at her ass. I was looking to see paint issues. I like it a lot. I like the chest piece. I think it looks turned out really well. It looks really good. I think the whole figure looks good. I like it a lot. I just wish we got a Chun-Li head. I guess we'll try her kick thing. So you got to kind of bend the foot and then insert and then something like that. It's not cooperating. But that is pretty cool. I like that quite a bit. I want to pull out Ryu because I did see some pictures. I'm just going to put this to the side and actually, no, I don't want to put her back in the baggie because I'm going to compare her with Ryu. I'm going to put her accessories away. But I did see some pictures of Ryu unboxed. And there was one issue that I saw. And I saw it across a lot of people's, so it's part of the figure, but I just want to see how noticeable it is. So let's pull out Ryu. Let's put Chun-Li's box to the side. I'm gonna have to repack that later. Let's pull out Ryu. We'll just show his box off real quick. We got a shot of Ryu on the side, another shot of Ryu on the side. There's the figure with all the accessories, a couple hands. He's doing a Hadouken or getting ready to. There's his morphed version. Nothing on the bottom and nothing on the top. And as you can see, I did not open this, but they did put like 2 pieces of tape here for some reason. I don't know. Apparently, actually this one has the same thing. But I did not open it, so... actually, they put 2 pieces of tape on every single part. Okay, I wanted to make it extra secure. I appreciate that, because I don't want people opening this. Because now with plastic-free packaging, I don't want to go to a Walmart or a GameStop or Toys R Us and buy from there. I'd rather buy from like an online shop, because I don't know if someone fucking returned this and fucked with it, or whatever the case may be. I'd rather buy from like a big bad toy store, like Hasbro Pulse, or it's just an online store. You know, it's just in like a warehouse, so no one's probably gonna fuck with it. But here we go, same box, figure here, accessories here. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna lift these little tabs. Pull out the accessory. I was gonna say, let's pull out the figure first, and then the accessories. Let's see if the stand clicks in. It doesn't click in, but it feels more sturdy. Like the Chun-Li one, I feel like I could just nudge and it would fall over. With this, there was a click. I don't know, this one just feels a little more sturdy to me. And if you want, you can put your Ryu or Chun-Li figures. It's got little peg holes for the feet on each side. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the hands. This one has got his fisted hands in the box. There it is, just a red glove. Okay, and let's look at his effects. We got this would be the Hadouken, yeah. And where's the little effect piece to pop in the hole? Oh, here it is. I thought it would have been like somewhere on the inside, but it is right there. I guess we'll plug it in. Let's pop it in. Oh, this one is fucking tight. Jesus. Holy shit. That one was brutal. There he is, firing a blast. Here we've got, this is the uppercut piece. Put his hand in there. I guess we can kind of show it off with the, I guess maybe it doesn't fit. I was going to say we can use his extra hand. Hadouken, or not Hadouken, I don't remember what the punch is called. I'm sure it has a name, I don't remember. And then we've got the Crimson Hawk effect. Is this one on the side too? This one is on the side as well. The little hole is there, so it'd be like this. Cool, cool, cool. Let's put these to the side. And let's whip out the man of the hour, Ryu. Oh no, he's busted through the bag. No. Oh, I don't know if that was me or if he was already like that. Oh, damn. The harder I try, the more it fucks up. So, it is like that. I don't know if you can kind of tell right away. Let me just fix the legs. There is kind of a glaring issue. Is his chest loose? No. Okay. He doesn't have the loose torso, just Chun-Li. So, there is an eyesore, at least for me. So when I saw people unboxing their figures and posting photos, for me, it's just, it bothers me. His torso and legs are kind of like a creamy off-white. And then you got the arms, just solid white. Just as white as can be. And just, I don't know why they didn't just do it like solid white. Or do this on the arms. I don't know. It just looks weird. He looks like a chicken. With that fucking beak. Caw-caw. He's gonna, wake us up in the morning. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. The off-white and then the regular white. I think they should have just kept it one or the other. Me personally. But yeah, here he is. Let's take a look at his morpher. His morpher is pretty plain. Give me the box. It is pretty plain on the box as well. But there's a little bit of a design there. If you can see on the bottom, there's like ridges. And then no ridges here. It's not that big of a deal. It just looks pretty blah. I wish there was more uniformity in these uniforms where you got like, because they're kind of based on Mighty Morphin. And I've got a couple Mighty Morphin figures to kind of compare. I've got Billy, And as we saw earlier, we got Tommy. And if you look at the old style, they got the diamond pattern, and then the Ryu has a diamond pattern as well to a certain extent. But the Chun-Li has no diamond pattern on her boots, which I think is just kind of weird. They both got the lines going down the side. Same morpher. Same morpher as Billy and stuff. But for some reason, she's got a gold morpher like Tommy, where his morpher's gold. And then Ryu's got a silver morpher like Billy. Again, I don't know why they went so different. There's Billy, and then there's Ryu. Yeah, I don't know. Weird choice. But yeah, he's got the pretty identical diamond designs. Yeah, but you know what? Let's talk about Ryu. Let's put away all this other shit. I do like it, though. Like, I like the chest piece. I think the helmet looks all right. Seems way more yellow in person than on the box. I feel like... No, I guess it is, like, very yellowy on the box. I feel like there was some white on the helmet, but I guess I was mistaken. Yeah, I guess I was mistaken. I thought there was a little bit of white on the helmet, but I was wrong. But yeah, just this rotates. It's a little headband, which I think is pretty cool. Head swivel. No design on the neck like Chun-Li. I do like the little dragon shield type thing. I think it looks good. It looks good on both of them. I like Chun-Li's more. She's got more of a unique design, where his is kind of... it's cool. It's just a little plain compared. And the box, I don't know what that says. I don't even know if that's Japanese. But these kind of bend a little bit. The little tassels on his black belt. The belt does not move. It's kind of stuck in place, which is cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just wish they either went white or off-white on the body. Like, made a decision. Because now I just think it looks kind of weird. You know, it just looks off-white and then the white arms. I don't know. That's just me. Then let's compare the two. I think they look solid, to be honest. I think they are great additions to the... Lightning collection, and they're kind of, like I said, they're kind of in the same vein as that Mighty Morphin. They're kind of like an offshoot of the team. Like, in another world, they are part of the Mighty Morphin team because they got the same morphers. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I think the figures look sick. It sucks my Chun-Li has got a loose torso. As you can see there, I'm just kind of just flicking the bottom and a lot of movement. And then my Ryu does not have that. The whole thing's shaking, not just his top. Yeah, I actually think these turned out pretty well. I do like them a lot. And I look forward to the Ken and the Cammy ones, but I think they're going to be pretty disappointing compared to these, because I think they knocked it out of the park with that one, and they fouled on the Cammy and the Ken. But we'll have to wait to see when we get them in person. Maybe I'll have my mind change. But really happy with these ones. I actually really like them, and I think they turned out awesome. Now we are moving on to the DC Multiverse, McFarlane's DC Multiverse, and got a lot of cool pickups here. A lot of Batman-centric pickups, a lot of cool additions to that collection. But the first one was not a Batman collection, but it is a nice addition to my Justice League collection. This one I picked up at the Toy Fair. Or Collector, I keep calling it different shows, Toy Show, Collector Con, Collector Convention, whatever. It's all the same thing. It all means the same thing. But that character is Shazam! You know, last episode I was talking about, I don't have any gold label figures. And then last episode I get 2. Bam, here's another one. This one, somebody was selling it for a really good price. And I was like, hell yeah, I gotta pick this up. When they announced this, I was kind of pretty excited. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Shazam fan. I've never read any of his comics. I did watch the movie. I've watched some like animated movies with him in it. So he's not my favorite character, but like after watching the movie, I have grown more of an appreciation for him. And as a kid, back in my day, I don't want to sound old as shit or anything, but like magnets were really popular. Like, I don't think magnets are popular anymore on fridges. Like, I don't know what people put on their fridge anymore. Maybe like a report card or whatever, depending how old you are. But for me, I loved magnets. Tons of magnets. And I always had the Shazam magnet on my fridge. I don't know if I still have it. I'd have to go double check. Like, I always remember that when I think of Shazam, this old stupid magnet I had on a fridge. But yeah, this figure is pretty cool. I actually do like it quite a bit. I really like that face sculpt. Looks good. You got the grown man, and you can kind of see like a kid inside of him. I don't know how to explain it, but it does really kind of encompass who Shazam is, who's more of like a lighthearted hero. Suit looks good. Classic suit, the red and gold, the white cape. And one of my favorite parts about this is this shot on the back. It really defines who Shazam is, who's like this young 14-year-old kid or whatever, and he's in the body of an adult man with superpowers who's like a wizard or whatever. And it's just kind of a cool picture of him having his lunch, his sack lunch that he brought to school, and he's having it while he's got some downtime saving the city. So I really like this picture a lot. But back to the figure. Figure looks cool. We get an extra set of hands, some lightning effect here. You also get a card in the background of the same picture we showed on the back. And as far as the box goes, it's typical DC Multiverse. They never really change it up. So there it is. Shazam on the bottom. Gold label here. Shazam DC Rebirth. We got the back shot there. Love that. Little side profile. Bottom there, some information if you're interested, and the top. So this one's really cool, and it's going to go very nice next to my, I brought somebody here for a comparison, and that is his biggest foe. These two actually look really good side by side. I was actually taking a close look, and the Shazam figure here, so the Black Adam came out first, part of the Frozen King wave, whatever this is, Frost King wave, and so this came out, I would say, almost a year ago now, and the Shazam figure is pretty much total reuse of the Black Adam figure. If we take a look, we see the boots there, same boots here, just different paint job. The pants are the same, belt's the same, upper torso's the same. Only thing different is obviously the chest piece. Shazam has a cape, Black Adam does not, and of course different head sculpt. And they even actually have, I did not notice that, he actually has 2 lightning effects. I did not see the second one. And this one has the same lightning effects. So even though it's the same kind of body and stuff, they put it to good use. It wasn't like a complete, like they didn't phone it in. They still did a great job with the Shazam, especially the head sculpts. And there we see the Black Adam one. Enough about him, we're here with Shazam. But yeah, this is cool. This is going to make a nice addition to my Justice League collection, so very happy about that. And then everything else we have is all Batman related. Since it is all Batman related, let's start with the man himself, Batman. Last episode I showed off Catwoman and Ra's al Ghul, part of the Arkham City wave. I only got half at that point, but now I got the other half, so let's start out with Batman himself. Here he is. Again, this is from his Arkham City look. I actually really dig this a lot. I like the kind of more classic design. I'll show off the Batman that I had in my collection and here in a second, but here we go. He's got the white eyes compared to the pupils they usually show. Obviously, he's using his detective mode. It looks like the ears are a little bit bent. It's not that big of a deal, but, looks a little bent in there. I like the shoulders, the cape over the shoulders. I like that look for the cape when he's got it more like that. Big black bat on his chest, got the underwear on the outside, and he comes with a grappling hook and 2 legs to build Solomon Grundy. And again, same thing, box is this exact same, just a little bit bigger because of the Build-A-Figure piece. So there's the side, Arkham City. Back shot, there's Solomon Grundy and everyone else in the wave. Another side shot there. Bottom. And the top. So let's do a little comparison of the Batman and the Batman that is currently in my collection, which is the Arkham Knight Batman. And I will say I actually prefer this Batman here on the left, Arkham City one, compared to the Arkham Knight one. I do like the Arkham Knight one. I just like more of the classic look in the gray and the black, where this is more of an armored version, like, of course, like a suit in Arkham Knight. It is a cool suit. I do like this a lot, but compared to it, there's just something about that classic suit that's just like, hell yeah. Like, I like it a lot more. So, yeah, this is going to be the Batman on my display now. This guy will be sitting in the background. Still going to keep him. But this one will be on display, so there's a little comparison of the two. Arkham City, Arkham Knight. There is a Arkham Asylum figure, which is very similar to this one, because there wasn't much difference in this suit to the Arkham City one, or the Arkham Asylum one. But that one I probably won't get, since I have this one now. Rounding out that Arkham City wave, we have the last person, which is another villain, the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. This figure looks pretty cool. I like the details on the face. I like the bottle in the eye. It's a bottle, not a magnifying glass. It's turned into a magnifying glass, but that was a bottle originally. I forgot who shoved it in his eye. Got the top hat there, and I believe I have confirmed that it is not removable, so in case you do buy this, the hat is stuck to the head, unfortunately. I got a bandaged hand there. The coat turned out pretty nice. I like that. He's got a hand here for holding his little umbrella here. I was going to say cane, but it's an umbrella. And the rest of the Build-A-Figure pieces for Solomon Grundy. So I'll just show off the back, even though this is exactly the same as the Batman one. So I'll just do it in a faster pace. Boom. And then we'll do a little comparison of Penguin and Arkham City. I did not bring Catwoman and Ra's al Ghul, so we can't get them all together, but here we have Batman and Penguin. So they look pretty cool together, and I like that this is another addition to the villains. My villains collection has really grown a lot and is about to grow a little bit more. Next, we were talking about his game, but now let's talk about the man himself. That is hailing from the DC Multiverse Arkham Knight universe. I don't know where I was going with that intro. But we got the man himself, the Arkham Knight, who is his real identity. I will not spoil here, in case you're interested. But yeah, he is a character who probably could have come with a gun, but, you know, McFarlane has a no-gun rule, which is fine. But instead he's got a grapple gun and two kind of smoke grenades or flashbangs, whatever you want to use them as. And I would say this figure looks pretty good, but I do have two issues with it. Actually, we'll just take a look at it first. There it is, Arkham Knight. Beautiful, nice. The head looks good. The body looks good. Lower half, not too happy with. So I would say he kind of suffers from Catwoman syndrome, where the Catwoman that we showed off in the last episode, very small torso and all legs. And I would have to say this guy is kind of in the same boat. Very small torso and just the longest legs ever. All legs, look at that. So I wish I would have done more with the torso. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. Until that one other complaint I mentioned. So originally when I saw this figure, I saw it a long time ago, I would say early this year, in a GameStop. And I picked it up and I was looking at it. And I'm like, there's something off about this. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong with this figure. So I went up and I went home and I looked it up. And I went on Reddit, because Reddit just has everything. And somebody mentioned it, and after they mentioned it, I was like, holy shit, that is missing from this figure. And that is that the Arkham Knight is missing his camo pants. If you do look at this figure, it does look very plain, very dark. He does have camo pants in the game. On here we have a shot of him. This is a shot of the figure, not a shot in game, because he would have the camo pants. But yeah, I would have liked for them to have done the camo pants I guess it was just too much paint-wise, but I think it would have helped this figure quite a bit, because it does look very plain. Like, we'll just put it there. Just a very dark-looking guy, you know? Like, I feel like the camo painted pants would have added quite a bit, and I'll add a picture up here to kind of show what he's supposed to look like. And yeah, so big miss with the lack of paint on the pants. I know that's a weird complaint, but honestly, it would add so much more to this figure compared to what it already is. So a bit of a letdown, but I would say other than that, it does look pretty sweet with the armor. I think the mask looks good. Arkham Knight, showing off the box. We saw the back already. Arkham Knight, bottom, and the top. So we'll do a little comparison with him. First, we'll bring out Batman, Arkham City. There they are together. They look pretty good together, I would say. And then we got the version of Batman who did fight off against this villain. We've got the Arkham Knight Batman. Looking pretty jacked, both of them ready to go to war. There's Arkham Knight, again, another villain to my collection. My Batman villain collection is looking pretty sweet now. But this next character, holy shit, I am so happy about. When they first announced him, I was like, it's perfect. It's fucking perfect. I can't wait to get my hands on it. This is the version of this character that, when I think of this character, this is the look that I think of. And honestly, there's not really a lot of figures out there that kind of have this look. They always do something funky with it. But I think this is very true to the comics, and I think it looks really good. And that character and this is the character I was talking about being a holy grail. We are talking about Bane. This is one badass figure. I love it a lot. I love this look for Bane. I love that classic red, white, and black mask. Love the red eyes. Looking super jacked on the Venom. I do have one issue with the figure. It's kind of a big issue, I'd say, but I think the figure looks fantastic. Like I said, there's not really too many Bane figures out there that kind of portray this look of him. They always do something goofy, Maybe he's in an armored suit or something stupid. Maybe he's got like some punching effect. But for me, the only other version of Bane that I saw that was like this, that I really wanted to get, was before there was the McFarlane DC Multiverse, there was the DC Universe, which was like DC's version of Marvel Legends. And I believe that one was done by Mattel. And they had this wave. I remember a few people in it. It was the Riddler, which was a cool looking Riddler. Robin, classic Robin, when he was like Dick Grayson Robin with like the elf boots and the really skimpy underwear. And the Creeper, who I would love to see McFarlane do a Creeper figure, who's like a really unknown Batman villain. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, but if you watch my Arkham City playthrough, I talk about the Creeper quite a bit. And every character came with a Build-A-Figure piece to build that Bane. And I always wanted that Bane. I only got those 3 figures from the wave, so I got an arm, I got a head, and I got the crotch piece for the Bane. And I never got the other pieces. But I was always devastated. I'm like, damn, I want that Bane. That Bane is sick. That's what I think Bane should be. And then, I had to wait a little bit, and eventually McFarlane answered my prayers. Honestly, I was kind of scared when they kind of announced the Bane, where I'm like, oh shit, they're doing a lot of the Arkham game figures. I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bane version of that, so I'm glad they did not do that. If they want to do it after, hey, by all means, go for it, since you're doing all the other Arkham villains. But I want that classic Bane look, and they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this. I really like this a lot. My one issue, and it's honestly a big issue, hands. You got all this space in this box. Look at all that empty plastic. Why are there no fisted hands for a character who is all physical and beats people up? I don't understand that. Like, honestly, that kind of blows my mind. Not even one fisted hand, like maybe the right hand's fisted. You can knock people out. And then you can have this hand for like lifting people up by the neck. Not even that. They did fucking two kind of grabby, slap them kind of hands. Like, I really would have liked fisted hands with this figure. The one figure that like is all about beating people up does not come with a fisted hand. It annoys me immensely. But other than that, I think the figure itself looks absolutely fantastic. I give it a 10 out of 10. This is a great addition to my Batman collection. I am super happy about this one. We'll show off the box. There's really not much to show. It is a bigger box. So there he is, Bane. There we see him. And like I said, he looks jacked on that Venom. I think he's a good size. Honestly, I think like tall-wise, I think he looks good. And I think he's the perfect thickness. Just says Bane on the back. You got a nice comic shot of him. I really like that a lot. He is ODing on that Venom. You can see the glowing red eyes. Looks awesome. Bane again. Bottom's got some information. And the top has a little bit of dust because it's been on my shelf. Yeah, I really like this figure. I am so happy that they did this. We'll do some comparisons. Let's whip out Batman. We'll do both Batman, but we'll start out with the classic looking Arkham City Batman. And I would say this still looks pretty good together. Like, I ain't mad at it. Like, this looks pretty awesome. I think they look fantastic together. Let's see how Arkham Knight looks like with the Bane. Not too bad. Like, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And then for the heck of it, let's bring out the other villains that we got. We got Arkham Knight. Obviously, these two... Was Bane in Arkham Knight? I don't think he makes an appearance in Arkham Knight. But anyways, there's Arkham Knight. And then the other villain we got is the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. I'm trying to like measure them up feet to feet. Oswald actually goes a little bit lower. So, nice little size comparison. You got the little tiny Oswald and a little jacked up Bane working together to kill the Batman. Honestly, I love all the Batman figures that I got today, with the exception of Arkham Knight. I would have liked it to have a little extra paint, but it's cool to have him in my collection. And this Bane, though, oh my god. I melt every time I look at him. He looks so cool. And yeah, I just love this look a lot. I'll look forward to whatever McFarlane puts out, like Batman villain-wise. I know Mr. Freeze is coming out soon, and a couple other people they kind of tease. We'll talk about that later in the news section. But yeah, they've been killing it lately. So shout out to McFarlane and the DC Multiverse. Next, we are going to move on to wrestling figures. Got some very cool stuff this month. And we're going to start out with something that I didn't buy. This is something that I made a very long time ago when I was a pretty young kid. And, you know, I was still playing with my wrestling action figures. I made this. My mom gave me this box. And, because, you know, I had figures everywhere, right? She would give me, like, little containers and shit that I could put my toys into. And one day she gave me this box. And it was a box for China. Just some China that she had. And there was this piece of cardboard in the box. And I'm like, I'll show the back because you can kind of see what it looks like. And I'm like, this piece of cardboard, it's just a piece of cardboard, but it's so unique looking. You know, why is this here? I didn't cut this here. This was already here in the box. And I was like, God, you know, it's so unique. Like, I feel like I can do something with it. So I was kind of playing around with it. And then I popped this little thing open. And I was like, dude, that is a fucking entrance ramp for my goddamn wrestling fig fed. And I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn it into an entrance ramp. So that's what I did. And as you can see here, we got Impact, TNA, ECW, SmackDown, Raw, and WWE. So what I did when I was playing with my figures, the way I kind of had it was like WWE owned all three of these brands, and each of them were kind of a brand. So like this was like a WWE brand. WWE owned ECW, but they were its own separate brand, and then WWE owned Impact, and it was its own separate brand. And yeah, this is the stage that I use, and then whenever somebody was making their entrance, Just pop this bad boy out, and then someone would come through. Oh my god, making his entrance, Chavo Guerrero. Boom, 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 comes through and comes out for his match. So, yeah, I found this, and I was like, holy shit, I think this would be fun to show. So, yeah, I used to use this as my little entrance ramp for my figs. But it's such a cool little piece of cardboard. Like, I saw this, and I'm like, I can turn this into something. And then once this little flap came down, it was like, oh yeah, you know what you can use it for, a fucking entrance ramp. So really cool. I love this. I'm very proud of this, even though I really didn't do anything besides putting like some stickers up. Like I said, I did not cut this. This was like this in the box, but you know, my little kid imagination turned it into something cool. So just something I wanted to show off. You know, I showed off Chavo, and I guess we'll start with not necessarily him directly, indirectly, where one of the figures I picked up this month was WWE Elite 94 Eddie Guerrero with green trunks. This is the regular version. There's also a chaser version that comes in black. That's why I brought out Chavo, where I was like, you know, should I get the chase version in black to kind of match Chavo? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get the green version and just kind of get Eddie to stand on his own. So I brought out Chavo just to kind of recreate Los Guerreros. So thank you, Chavo. And thank you for making your entrance in the WWE zone. I don't know. I didn't have a name for the arena. But yeah, here we have Eddie. This is from his look from like 2000... late 2002, early 2003, somewhere around there. Tag champs with Chavo. He's also tag champs with Tajiri, and I think he was tag champs with Rey Mysterio as well. I definitely remember he was tag team champs with Tajiri around this time because Chavo was injured or something, and then he was champions, so he brought in Tajiri to fill with him, and they had this awesome ladder match at Judgment Day. I think it was 2002 or 2003, and yeah, just a fun little memory that popped in my head. But yeah, here he comes with the former SmackDown Tag Team title. We'll talk more about this in a second, but I think it looks pretty good. A little bit of a shitty paint job with the red line there, where it should look like that. And then they're like, yeah, fuck it, just red line wherever. So it's kind of more in the W, in the middle of the W than the bottom. But other than that, I think it looks really good. I was always a fan of these tag team titles. There it is. And then the Eddie figure itself, I think, looks good. The head scan looks good. Body is very similar to the Chavo one, even though he had a shirt on. I was going to grab him to compare, but it's all right. But yeah, here he is. I've never got a WWE Elite figure of Eddie. There's been a few. And, you know, when I saw this one, I was like, you know what? It might be time. It might be time to grab one. So here we see Latino. We got the Flames, Latino Heat. Boots look good. And, yeah, I loved SmackDown around this time, and Eddie Guerrero was a huge part of that. So, brings back a lot of awesome memories. So, rest in peace, Eddie. Actually, it was just like his anniversary of his death earlier this month. So, can't believe it's already been that long. I remember watching the episode of SmackDown, and I was in fucking tears, bro. I was like, because this was like the first. I was reading an article the other day, and they were talking about Owen Hart and stuff. And there's only been really a few people that have died while being an active wrestler. Owen being one of them, and then Eddie and Benoit being the other two. I can't really think of anybody else, but yeah, someone that you see, you know, every fucking Thursday on SmackDown. Or was it? I think they were Thursday, not Friday yet. Or it might have even been Tuesday, because it was Tuesday night SmackDown. I'm going to say Thursday. It was probably Thursday. But yeah, seeing him every week, and then just one day the news that he comes out that he's dead, and it was like, holy shit, it was crazy. So yeah, rest in peace, Eddie. Sorry to bring this down. But yeah, he was one of my favorites. I always enjoyed watching SmackDown more than Raw for some reason. I think it was because I was younger, and SmackDown or Raw was from 9 to 11, so I kind of had to go to sleep to go to school during it. So that kind of sucked. Where like I guess maybe it was Friday, because I would stay up and watch the whole thing, and it would be from 8 to 10. And I guess my bedtime was like 10 or something, so I could actually watch SmackDown to the end. Anyways, I digress. Enough about that. I wanted to go back to the tag title. I'm going to bring out a couple other things. This tag title, and I'm going to bring out this tag title, and I'm going to bring out this tag title. Now, the other two you've seen, we talked about this on the last episode and this on the episode before that. And, when I got this tag title, it just made me think, like, something that I really hate about Mattel is giving us one tag team title. Please stop doing it. There's actually a fifth example on Ringside Collectibles. There's a Ringside exclusive Undertaker, and he comes with, of course, half of the newer WCW tag titles. And it's like, stop giving us fucking tag team titles unless you're going to give us both. Why the fuck do you keep giving us one? It's so infuriating. This one came with Cactus Jack, which was also a Ringside exclusive. Awesome title. I don't know if we'll ever get another one. This one came with Stunning Steve, and this was from WWE Elite 80-something, 81, 82, around there. And, of course, he was tag team champions with Brian Pillman, but we never got the Brian Pillman with this other side of the tag titles. This one came with Kane on the Legends titles, and they could have easily packaged one with Hurricane, who was also in the Legends wave, because they were tag team champions, but no, you only give us one of these. Now, we have gotten, compared to, like, these two, where we've never gotten these before, these have come out a few times, not too many to count. You can probably count them on one hand. So these are not as easy to come by as they used to be, But yeah, just giving us one of these titles, it's so annoying. Stop giving us one tag team title, please. It's so stupid. Here are 4, and again, like I said, there's a 5th one, the Undertaker one with the WCW tag titles. Please stop doing that. Please, if you're going to give us one tag title, at least plan to... I'll just put these on my finger. Let me fucking wrap this one up. Please at least make plans to release the other one at some point in time. Please. Because now like I said, these two here, this one and this one, we've gotten before. Very few times, but technically we have gotten before. But these ones, only once, and who knows if we'll ever get them again. So, please stop that, Mattel. Give us both or give us none. Thank you. That's my little rant. Next, I was going to start out with this figure. I don't know why I started. Well, I started with the Chavo and Eddie because the stupid entrance ramp. But first, we are going, or I guess, whatever. Next, we are going to start with hailing from AEW and Jazzwares, coming from the Unrivaled Wave 9. We are talking about The Machine, Brian Cage. Been wanting this one for a while. Saw it for a pretty good price and snagged him up. Probably should have waited till like not Boxing Day, but like Black Friday or Cyber Monday, and probably could have got it for even cheaper, but, I digress. I do like Brian Cage. I've been following him for quite a bit. Used to watch him in PWG. He always stood out to me because he was always, like, super jacked. And compared to PWG and just kind of the indies at that time where everyone was on the smaller side, you had guys like Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Mike Bailey, Johnny Gargano, the Young Bucks, just smaller dudes. So when you saw this big muscle guy, it was like, holy shit, this guy looks like an absolute beast. He really stood out. And in PWG, he didn't really do anything substantial. And then he eventually went to Lucha Underground. I never watched any of Lucha Underground, but I know he was a big part of it. And then eventually he went to Impact Wrestling, won the world title there, had a good run. And when it was announced that he was coming to AEW, I was very excited. And unfortunately, I don't think his run there has been the greatest. Where, he came in, started feuding with Jon Moxley. And where are you going to go after that? You're only going to go down the card. So I think that kind of sucked for him. But he did come in with quite the impact. I think they main evented a pay-per-view. Or it was a big match on a Dynamite. I don't recall. But he did have a big match with Jon Moxley for the world title. and had a big feud with Darby Allin as well. Had the Team Taz thing, the FTW title, and more recently he's kind of reappeared on Impact. More recently he's appeared back on Dynamite. He is kind of lined up as a star for whenever they do the Ring of Honor stuff, but who knows when that'll happen. But it's good to see him back on TV. Happy to see that, because he was off for the longest time. So, yeah, it's been quite a bit. But here he is, finally got his AEW figure. Looking pretty jacked. He could always look a little more jacked. He's quite the big dude. I did bring another big dude to kind of compare him with. I brought in Wardlow, who is a pretty big dude himself. Yeah, they look pretty good together. I would say Brian Cage does look bigger. I think he does have the bigger bod between Wardlow, at least in figure-wise. I'm not going to compare him in real life. But yeah, he does look super jacked, and compared to who I just showed him off against. And he does come with an extra pair of hands. I don't have those. And he does come with an extra head, which is a screaming head. We'll pop it on. One great thing about these AEW figures, I mention every time, very customizable. If you wanted to, you can, if you get another Brian Cage figure down the line, and it's got a different head sculpt, or it's got more of his mohawk look that he's got now, you can pop that on if you want to pop off the torso. Actually, something I just thought about. Hold on, give me Wardlow. I know in Lucha Underground he wrestled in a singlet, so you can kind of do like a Lucha Underground look. Get the head popping on Wardlow's body, and there is Cage. Obviously not jacked enough, but does look pretty good. If you wanted to, except for, the whole thing that says Wardlow on the back, you could have a Lucha Underground Brian Cage here. But let's put him on his regular body. Here he is, back again with his screaming head. Honestly, I'm not too crazy about either head. Sometimes I look at this and I'm like, and then I'll put on this head. Or sometimes I look at this head and I'm like, I'll put on this head. So both heads don't really kind of... if I had to pick, probably the screaming head, I would say is more akin to Brian Cage, but I do like the more natural, just stoic face of his. Yeah, who better than Cage? Right now, a lot of people. But I think the figure turned out well. I did have a couple issues with mine. If you see on the hairline, they painted the forehead a little bit brown. Same thing on the other head. And then two other issues I had. A little bit of yellow paint here. And the biggest issue I have with this figure, honestly, I like the gear. I like the white and the black Cage. But the biggest issue I have, and it looks so dumb after I saw it, I'm like, I can't unsee it. So we see here, Cage, boom, divided right down the middle. CA on the left or GE on the right. Or vice versa, if you're, whatever. On the back, though, you would think the tights would go straight down the middle of the skull, but they do not, and it just looks kind of dumb. So, yeah, I would have liked that. They kind of botched the paint job there, but other than that, it is pretty good. But yeah, once I saw this, it did annoy me quite a bit. Weapon X, the Machine, Brian Cage. Yeah, so that's kind of a shitty thing, but other than that, I think it does look pretty good, and who knows when we'll get another Brian Cage figure, so if you see him, scoop him up. Next, we're going to move on to a more recent release from the WW Elite side. Everything else is going to be WW Elite style. That was the only AEW figure I had. But next one we got is the Giant from Nigeria. I am talking about the newly released Omos, and this is one big figure. I brought in a couple figures to kind of compare him with. First, we'll kind of compare the size, because obviously that's the one thing you want to know is this Omos figure as giant as he is in real life? He is. He's absolutely gigantic. So there he is, standing quite tall. We'll kind of center him out more. So I brought a smaller figure. One of my favorites, kind of an underrated figure, Kushida. the Time Splitter. I really like this figure a lot, but we're not here to talk about him. We're just here to compare size. So there he is. Hopefully, almost does not topple over him. But there you can see he towers over Kushida. So you like to see that. You want to see some scale in your wrestling figures. So that looks good. Another figure I brought in to kind of compare size is probably the only other figure that's kind of comparable in size, which would be Braun Strowman. Here we got Braun Strowman. This is his first Elite figure. Kind of an outdated look of his, but I still do like this Elite a lot. I've been tempted to buy kind of his newer look, but I'm like, you know what? I still like the Wyatt family type one, so I'm going to keep this. But yeah, this was the other tallest figure I had in my Elite collection. He is a gigantic one. We'll compare Kushida. Okay, hold on. Step out for a second almost. We'll compare Kushida and Strowman. Come on, Kushida, I know you're intimidated. But there you can see a size difference. And then let's bring in Omos. And I was kind of surprised when I saw this, but Omos is taller than the Braun Strowman figure. I thought they were going to be kind of eye to eye or kind of level. But no, they made the Omos figure bigger than Strowman, so I was kind of happy to see that. I was interested to see how he would scale, because obviously he's like a very tall guy. He's 7'3", I believe, 7'3", 7'5", something like that. Very tall dude, but sometimes with figures, you know, stuff happens. So he does look very tall and is very tall. So let's take these two guys away. Thank you for being modeling the size. And yeah, here we have Omos. His gear is really nothing special. All black pants, black boots, black little wife beater. Comes with a chain. I think the head scan looks very good, and he is looking pretty jacked. His wrist tape here is gray, even though it does look kind of black. It is more of like a silvery kind of gray, so it's not all black. I did have a little bit of a paint mess up here, where they did some of the brown paint here. No big deal, but just pointing it out. And he also came, I think he came with hands, and he also came with this one half of the Raw Tag Team titles. So here he is, looks like a toy compared to him. One thing I did not like is the Raw Tag Team title. This is more the style that they give in the basic figures, where it's more of like a plain plasticky, where in the Elites, they usually give like this shiny tag title. Now, I'm not going to complain because I've got a bunch of these, so, you know, I'm fine. But it's just weird that they gave the more plasticky one instead of the shiny title. Why they did that, I have no idea. But, yeah, more of... I don't know, this one just looks kind of cheap. You know, this is what I would expect with, like, the Battle Pack or the single basics. Not with the Elites. With the Elites, I want the nice titles. The nice shiny ones. Like, look how good this looks on him. Looks like a real champion now, you know? But instead, we got the more toy-looking one. Why they did that, I don't know. Hopefully that's not a thing going forward with the titles. I do like my shiny titles. And hopefully this was just kind of a one-time thing for whatever reason. But hopefully going forward they don't nerf our titles and make them plain like this. Hopefully we still get these bad boys. Next, this is a figure that I was kind of debating on, because there is a lot of versions of this guy. And the person I am talking about is the Warrior. Oh, yeah. He doesn't say, oh, yeah, that's, you know, Macho Man's thing. But, you know, usually what he said is incoherent. So I decided to just go, oh, yeah. But yeah, here he is, Ultimate Warrior. There is a bunch of different Warrior figures. And I was kind of like, I do want a Warrior figure, but like which one? You know, there's like a Royal Rumble one right now. There's an Ultimate Edition one. There's a Survivor Series one that just came out. And there's been a couple other ones somewhat recently. And I think compared to all of them, I think this one looks the coolest. Comes with a nice leather jacket. Like that one a lot. And I just think his deco looks awesome. And I had this figure in Jakks Pacific, when they were still doing the WWE figures. They released an Ultimate Warrior in this gear, and I had that one. I was trying to look for it. That's how I found my stupid ramp or stage that I built. And I was looking for the Jakks one to kind of compare, but I wasn't able to find it. But I did find the ramp instead, which, you know, a nice little trade-off. But yeah, I think this figure looks pretty good. One thing that kind of annoyed me was the hair, where if you look at the hair, you see those like brown splotches, and obviously those are supposed to be shadows. From far away, it looks good. If you look up close, it just looks like brown splotches. I know that's how it's supposed to look. I don't know, it just kind of annoys me. I can't tell my brain, like, hey, that's how it's supposed to look. It's like, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. Stupid, look. Bah. Yeah. And one thing that this was pointed out to me later, around this time when Warrior came back, I believe this was the WrestleMania that he beat Triple H in like a minute or whatever, like something really ridiculous. And he came back and he had this tattoo, and I don't remember this, but he has this tattoo here. And it's not just any tattoo. It is a tattoo of himself. That is an Ultimate Warrior tattoo on his shoulder. He was quite the interesting guy. You know, he ended up changing his name to Warrior and a bunch of other stuff, but we won't get into that. But as far as the figure goes, I think it looks really, really sick. One little touch that I like about this figure is the little tassels on his armbands you can move. So if you want to have him posing like he's running to the ring like he would normally do, then you can kind of put him in like a running, like he is running. Boom. Fix that. So I think that is pretty cool. Nice little cool touch. I do like this design. The blue, I think, looks good. The blue, the orange. He's got these tassels on his boots. There's no way to take off if you wanted to. They're just kind of on the boots. I mean, there might be a way how to, but it's not going to be easy. So they're kind of on there. But I think it looks good. Honestly, I really like how this turned out. And always a big fan of the cloth jackets and stuff, and I think this one looks pretty cool. This is actually what's tattooed on his arm, I believe. Something along, I think it might be the exact same, or pretty close. But yeah, we'll just take a look at the design on the jacket. Warrior, looking straight out of a comic book, and on the inside is just white. So yeah, it looks cool. It comes with a couple different hands, and one thing I like about this figure too, another little extra piece, it is a ringside exclusive. So here's the box. As you can see, boom, ringside exclusive if you do want to buy your own. Nice little shot of the Warrior there. Oh, here it is, yeah. Beating Hunter Hearst Helmsley in like 2 seconds. He gets pedigreed, gets up, and kills Triple H. So there's what the gear was based on. That look right there. But yeah, enough about the box. One thing that comes in the box that I think is really cool is you get this little kind of stage setup for WrestleMania. So if you do like to display your figures, you can have them on the entrance ramp making his entrance, which, yeah, he's coming out for WrestleMania 12. Yeah, 12, X being 10, and the I being a 1. But yeah, here he is making his entrance. So I thought this was really cool. This is just a piece of cardboard that they designed some stuff on, and yeah, it looks cool. It would have been cool if you see like people like around the ring, but they did not have that. And again, it's just a piece of cardboard, so nothing crazy, but it is a little cool touch to add along with, you know, cloth goods and a pretty cool figure. So really like how this one turned out a lot. Happy about this one. to end out the wrestling section, I did get a couple more customs. Now, this one I didn't place an order for. There's a little more of a story. There was this guy on Instagram who I follow. I'm a big fan of his customs. I think he's got some of the cleanest customs out there. Highly recommend. His name's TSM Customs. I'll put his link in the description. He posted an Instagram story and he said, hey, you know, I'm looking to offload some of my stuff. I'm selling some stuff. And it was a mixture of like personal collection and like his personal custom collection that he owned. And he put up some cool custom. He put up two that in particular that I was really interested in. And I was like, hey, you know, are these still available? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, what are they going for? He gave me a price and I was like, yeah, I'll take them. There's a little more to the story. I'll talk about them in a second. But I did break my rule for customs where with customs, I usually try and get guys who I think are never going to get a figure, ever. Like, I don't want to say they're not relevant anymore. They're, you know, there's just not a demand for them. That's like the best way to put it. No offense to any of the people that I've gotten customs of. Love them all. And yeah, so usually I try and get some of like not active wrestlers per se, kind of. And the two that I got this month, they're actually currently active wrestlers. They're currently on TNA competing. I think one of these guys, I don't think he will get a figure. There's like a 50-50 chance. I think the other one, there's a very high chance this person could get a figure. Let's show off the first custom though, and this one is really cool. Really glad how both of these turned out. The second one I'm going to show, oh my god, it's like, I would say it's a Mattel WWE worthy. Like if this was on a shelf or something like that, you'd be like, holy shit, that's like from a factory or some shit. But no, this is like some guy made this, and we'll show the first one. I don't want to hype up the second one, but we got PCO. I think he has like a slight chance of having a figure created from him or for him. And, you know, I just really liked how this turned out. So here he is. We'll get him to stand up. So yeah, this was one of the customs that I bought from him, from TSM. He doesn't want to stand. Oh, we got a little bit of a stand, but I think he did an absolute phenomenal job. Nothing really crazy, like attire-wise. Like, he's got a pretty plain look to him, and it's just really black and blue. He's in the WWE Elite style, and I think it looks phenomenal. He has this arm tattoo here. This, I believe, was a custom 3D printed head sculpt, and then it was painted. My only issue I have with this figure, it moves perfectly, everything, like the joints and stuff, but for some reason the head is not good. So when I bought it and I took it out of the box and I was kind of testing out all the joints and I was trying out the head, I turned the head this way, and then I turned the head this way, and then the head just came off. So, I don't know, he didn't set it in well, where some other, like my other customs, if I were to twist it, like just kind of test out the neck joint, I've never had that pop off, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, it sucks that the head's not, like, sturdy on there, but, I really like how this one turned out. And like I said, really nothing crazy deco-wise. He's a pretty simple guy. But if you've never seen PCO in action, highly recommend him. Crazy individual. That's all I'm going to say. Like, if you watch his matches, he does some crazy shit. And he's like 50 plus years old. Yeah, he's just an absolute lunatic. I think every match you'll have a spot where it's just like, oh my fucking god, he's going to die. So really crazy, really happy about this one. And then the next one, this guy, I think he's got a very big chance of getting a figure eventually, whether it be with Impact or maybe, he moves on to another company. We'll see. But this is a guy that I actually quite enjoy watching him. And I'm happy about all his success because he is a Canadian boy. And I am talking about the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. This figure is freaking incredible. Look at all that deco. Not only his attire, but look at those fucking tattoos. Fully tatted. Doing a little twirl. I believe these were all hand painted. I don't know how he did it, but it turned out absolutely incredible. Head was obviously 3D printed, and he painted that. That looks absolutely awesome. Looks exactly like him. He did an incredible job with the paint. But honestly, the tattoos are just absolutely insane. The amount of detail. And I believe Josh Alexander actually sent like reference pictures to his tattoos to this guy. So there we can see more tattoos. So yeah, this figure looks freaking cool. And there's also a tattoo on the shin here. But yeah, this is a killer figure. Really, really like this. The walking weapon, Josh Alexander, current Impact Wrestling champion. Yeah, so when he put these up for sale, I was like, the Josh Alexander alone, I was like, holy shit, I have to get that. Like, this is just an incredible looking figure. Like, I don't want to, no offense to any of the other customs I have, but just based on deco alone, like the tattoos and the attire, I'd have to say this is probably the best custom that I own. Like, he did a phenomenal job. I really like this one a lot. And of course, both of these figures are in the WWE Elite style, and he did a fantastic job. Yeah, really happy about this one. I did have one issue with the guy, TSM Customs. So regarding the purchase, I'm just going to give you, the stuff that I've been through in case you do contact him. I know he's going through some stuff, so if you are interested in ordering, I don't know if now would be the best time. You can reach out to him and then, whatever he says. But I know he is going through some stuff personally, so now might not be the best time if you want to place an order. Like I said, these were already created. These are from his personal collection. I even messaged him. I'm like, dude, the figures look incredible. I just want you to know they came to a great home. So anyway, just a quick little thing. I did have a little bit of an issue with the guy. So I ordered these from him on October 18th and hit him up. I'm like, yeah, I want to grab them. He's like, cool. So I sent him the money on PayPal. He asked for my address, sent him the address. And now typically when that kind of happens, the person that is shipping the product will send, the buyer a tracking number so they can track the package. I contacted him multiple times, I think maybe 6 or 7, throughout that period. So I bought them October 18. And I got them around November 13, 14. It did take a while because these came from the UK. And so I contacted him a couple times. I'm like, hey, you never sent me the tracking info, blah, 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 blah. Never responded to me. Never. Ghosted the absolute shit out of me. And for a while, I thought I was scammed. Like, I thought this guy just fucking took my money and ran. And I was super pissed because he was just never replying. And then I reached out to somebody else and I was like, hey, what's this guy's reputation in the community? Like, what, is it good? Is it bad? He's like, no, he's a pretty reputable guy. And I know he's just going through some stuff. So I kind of just chalked it up to that. But I never got a response ever about the tracking info. Not even like, hey, I wasn't able to get the tracking info, but the thing was shipped, like anything. I didn't get shit for a response. So that really pissed me off. And eventually when the figures came in, like I said, they came in around November 13 or 14. I sent them another message. I'm like, hey, I got the figures, but that's not cool that you didn't send me any responses. He finally responded to that. It was like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. And he apologized and stuff. And just a little thing, but I just wish there was more communication on his part regarding the shipping, because I paid quite a bit of money for these, because Canadian dollar to UK dollar, insane, plus shipping and fees and shit. So yeah, just a little bit of a heads up. That's my personal experience with the guy. But as you can see, he has some fucking fantastic work. Really like how these turned out, and highly recommend checking out his Instagram page and just kind of looking at what he has. He's made some really, really killer customs. So big fan, TSM Customs, shout out to you. Just wish you would, respond to your boy. Last but not least, we're finished with the wrestling, and now we are finishing off with Marvel Legends. Got a couple cool figures with this one. Really beefed up my X-Men collection and my Spider-Man collection. Some nice additions to them. And just some characters that I've kind of wanted for a while, at least on the X-Men portion. With these Spider-Man editions, cool editions, but not like the biggest names. So we'll kind of talk about that later. But the first edition is actually to neither of those collections, but it is a Marvel Legends figure. And he's coming from the land of Asgard, coming across the Rainbow Bridge. It is the recently released Marvel Legends figure of Gore the God Butcher. This is one of the newer foes of Thor. You might be familiar with him because he recently just starred in the Thor 4 movie, played by Christian Bale. They released the movie figure. It looked alright, and now they released a more comic-accurate version of Gore the God Butcher. And this figure is only available on Amazon, so if you are interested in it, you can get it there. But let's show off the packaging. This is actually my first plastic-free packaging solo figure. We did the 2-pack last month, the Spider-Man and Spinneret, but this will be the first. Actually, no, we did the VHS, but that's different. It's a different box. This is like the actual. This is what the new Marvel Legends are supposed to look like compared to. Actually, we'll do a box comparison after, and we're gonna open this up, make sure everything's good inside. So let's take a look at the box. There he is, figure there. I think he looks pretty cool. He's got like a Voldemort kind of look going on with the no nose. There he is. We'll get a better close-up of him when we open the box. But there he is, and then a comic shot there. On the right side, we got, or my left, whatever. We got a shot of the figure here. On the other side, we got a comic shot of him, looking very menacing. On top, we got a Thor hammer, because it is a Thor villain. And then on the back, there is the figure along with the accessories that come in the box. So there it is. So let's do a quick comparison with the box. So like I said, this is with the new single pack. That's what they're supposed to look like. A little spoiler for someone we're going to be showing later, but here he is, Tombstone. We'll talk about him more in a second, but just kind of comparison with the box. This is the old style. This is the new style. So slightly taller for the Tombstone box. And I believe they're the same width. Pretty much the same width, but just this one's a little bit taller. So a little comparison there. So see you later, Tombstone. We'll see you literally in like 2 minutes. So now we're going to open this bad boy up, make sure everything is good inside. And as we usually do, make sure that this has never been opened. Tape hasn't been tampered with. Boom. Get our handy dandy trusty envelope cutter. I need to get a new knife. I mean, this is sharp enough to just cut tape, because that's basically what I'm doing. Yeah, there's just one piece of tape. Ah, you know what? Fuck me. I should have, because I display all my figures like this, I should have cut from the other side. I'm an idiot. I cut from this side, so it's going to be noticeable if you look close. Or if I fuck up the package by opening it here, then I'm going to be able to see it. That was stupid. I was not thinking. Why did I even cut it from this side? Ugh. Idiot. Whatever, here we go. Pop it open. We got some instructions. Don't need those. Okay. Oh, we got two baggies of accessories. This is probably his weapon. And this is probably the other head. And that is Gore himself. So let's take a look at the accessories first. In our first baggie. Wait, what are the accessories? We got a hand and a head. Okay. Just wanted to double check what I'm keeping my eye out for. This is just the head. Let's make sure the hand is in here. You know, now that I see that Power Rangers has, like, designs on their little baggies. Come on, Marvel Legends, what are you doing? So I guess the hand that's supposed to be an accessory, as on the box, is the hand that's already equipped on him. This was the one that was in the box. Nice, cool little blade here. And it comes out of his hand. I haven't watched the new Thor movie yet. A little behind on my Marvel stuff. I haven't watched any of the TV shows or anything like that, so. I've heard that the Thor 4 movie was alright. Like, nothing crazy, nothing special. And here is the head. Very, very ugly looking. He kind of reminds me of like a Star Wars character. I feel like I've seen a Star Wars character that kind of looks like him. But the tentacles don't really bend. Very stiff. Alright, and then the man of the hour. Very heavy feeling figure. Ooh, look at that. Looking pretty cool. Okay, look at him. I like. Okay, just kind of testing out the joints. Also going to be checking for paint apps. There's his little toes. He's got claws. There's his back. There's the back of the figure. Cape looks cool. I like the shredded look. And it comes forward. Looks sick. I want to see what the hand looks like. Let's pop this off. Oh, that's pretty cool. He's bringing a sword to a hammer fight. Interesting choice of weapon, but you know, confident guy here. And I guess we'll try the other heads. I'm assuming this whole... Is this attached? I think this is attached. The cloak is attached to the head. You can see his little tentacles in there. Yeah, I believe this is stuck to his head, so we're not going to pull it off and mess with it. And let's pop on this head. And this can come... Yeah, you can take this off if you'd like. And then he's all naked. Well, let's pop it back on. Head seems like it's going to be annoying with the tentacles in the way. Ugh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, a little bit of resistance from the tentacle, kind of making it a little bit harder. But here he is. I kind of wish that there was like a little... Like they do it for some characters that are unmasked, where they have the little hood down and it's kind of crumpled around the neck. I wish they did something like that for him. But other than that, I think he looks pretty cool. If I were to display him, I would definitely keep the hood on. I think he looks... Like, I don't know, the tentacles just kind of look goofy. I mean, that's his character, but I just think he looks best with the... Let's put it back on. I think it looks best with the hood on. Like, look how menacing he looks. With the sword, too. Like, you don't want to fuck with that guy. Kind of a basic look. Like, he's just got the gray body, some black designs on him. Kind of symbiote goo type stuff. I'm not too familiar with gore. I remember when he was first created, when they launched that Thor run. And they're like, oh yeah, we got this new big villain, Gore the God Butcher. And I'm not a big Thor guy, but you know, I thought this figure was pretty cool. So I had to pick this one up. So like this one, I do. I will pack up all this shit after. Let's jump into the X-Men world next. A lot of cool additions with this one. Really happy with the ones that I got. Big characters that I've wanted for a while, and all of these are kind of new releases. So the first one we're going to start with is one of the original X-Men members, one of the original 5. We've got Hank McCoy, Beast, on the retro card. Really like how this one turned out. Like I said, this is a newer release. This came out maybe a month ago. And classic blue Beast look. There's a Beast that came out in a Marvel Legends wave like a really long time ago, but if you want that, you got to pay like an arm and a leg for that to track it down. Luckily, they did a re-release and they kind of added some new features, the beakers. I did double check; these are the same beakers that came with the Lizard. Not bad, you know. It's a nice reuse because you know, Beast does the same stuff, science experiments, and I think they look cool. My only issue, it's not even like a really big issue, but something I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked if he had pupils, kind of like he is displayed here. Or maybe like this one's kind of his neutral face, like, oh, I'm doing science experiments, you know? Fuck off. If he had pupils there, and then you can pop on this head and he's like in battle mode, you know, like a feral rage, and then you can have the whites of his eyes. So I would have liked to have the pupils on one of these, one or both or whatever, but unfortunately they just did the white eyes. Like I said, just a minor thing that I would have liked to have seen, but big fan of the retro carding. I love these retro cards, whether it be Spider-Man or X-Men, the Avengers ones, Fantastic Four. Can't wait for the Ghost Rider one that's coming up soon. So I really like these, and I'm happy that they mentioned, I don't know when, that they're going to keep doing these, even though they're starting to pivot towards the plastic-free packaging. They're still going to do the retro packaging, and they're still going to pack it like this, so that's cool to see. But yeah, we got Beast, comes with a lab coat, covers his body so we can't really see, but he is in his trunks like this. There he is. We got a shot on the back of him without the lab coat on. And that's what he looks like. And yeah, feral head, glasses, lab coats. Don't bother me, I'm doing science experiments in my basement. Got a couple beakers, extra set of hands. I did have a little bit of a paint flub here on the nail. Kind of painted over a little bit, so that sucks. I think everything else turned out fine. Really happy about this one. This is like one of the last few big X-Men characters I need. Now, at least what I consider like the main X-Men team. Now the people that I need, I'm looking for two more. There's the Cyclops, which will be coming soon, the VHS one, whenever that comes out. And then I want a classic looking Angel. The only Angel available so far is just the Archangel one, but for me, I want a classic looking Angel. And once I get those two, then it's like, okay, I've got like all the X-Men that I want. So this is a big addition to that, completing that X-Men team. All the core members like Psylocke, Jubilee, Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, Colossus, Bishop, Storm. Happy to have Beast on board. Another one for the X-Men collection, and another retro carded figure, another newly released one. We are talking about the mutant of all mutants, Apocalypse. I am really happy that I finally got this figure, and this is on a huge card. It's not even able to get in the whole camera, so we'll just do a little comparison of the box. Let me see if I can. Okay, that's as best as I can do zooming out wise. Yeah, much bigger of a box. Obviously, Apocalypse is a very big character. Towers over Beast. Look at that. You can kind of see Apocalypse's head is like right over here, and Beast is kind of level with his chest. So, really cool about that. But yeah, Apocalypse. The only other Apocalypse... Well, actually, there's two Apocalypse figures in the Marvel Legends wave. There's the Age of Apocalypse one, which is a deluxe figure. And there's the Build-A-Figure Apocalypse. So those are the only really two ways you can get Apocalypse. And the Apocalypse, Age of Apocalypse one... Not crazy about the design, you know. For me, I wanted that like classic Apocalypse look, and this is like straight from the animated show. That purple and blue. Really happy with this one. This turned out fucking awesome. One stupid thing I saw, and I can't unsee it, is like this image is kind of low res. I know it sounds so stupid, but like, why is it so grainy and blurry? Just a little thing I saw, and I thought it was funny. Just a low-quality image of Apocalypse. I guess they did have to blow it up to cover the box, but whatever. But yeah, Apocalypse looking sick. He comes with two heads. He's got an angry head and a calm head. He's got some wires. I believe these connect from the back to the back of the arms. Yes, they do. So that's what he's supposed to look like. And I believe this is a gun hand. This, you can change out one of his hands for a gun, and he also comes with another set of hands and a couple blast effect pieces, 2 here and 1 here, and they can go on the gun. So yeah, this is a cool one. This is a big addition to the X-Men collection. Well, not only literally is he a big figure, but you know, like I said, he's the mutant of all mutants. Really happy with this one. Like I said, the X-Men collection grows. Alright, last edition for the X-Men collection. I'm going to be honest, I wanted to cancel this figure. I didn't know if I wanted to get this one, because when I was looking at screenshots, the blue shading was kind of weirding me out. So I was like, oh, you know, I think I'm going to cancel it. I didn't get a chance to cancel it, so it ended up shipping before I could. So I do have it, and the figure I'm talking about is Mystique in the VHS box. This is my 3rd VHS character. Got Jean Grey, got Morph, and now I got Mystique. I'm not collecting them all. I'm just getting them of figures that, or of characters that I don't have figures for. And I think, like, this is that classic look. Now, I'm interested to see how the blue looks in hand on the pictures. Like I said, look kind of weird compared to the other Mystique figure that's out there, where the blue looks really good. So as you can see there, it's kind of like a muted blue, but this one might surprise me when I pull it out of the box. And you know what? Let's do that right now. Let's open her up and let's show that this has not been opened with. You can see sealed right there, and piece of tape on the top, not tampered with. I don't even know what I would do if, like, one of the things is fucked up, like, oh, the paint apps are really bad, or it's missing accessories. I know there's the customer service for Hasbro, and I know that they send, like, other stuff. Like, you might not even get a replacement for this figure in particular. You might get something completely else. You might get MCU figures in replacement for that. So here we got a accessory pack. And I completely forgot the accessory. It just, when I was like, what is this gigantic thing in this bag? I was like, oh yeah, this comes with it. 2 sets of hands. Let's show them off. We got gun shooting hands. And as you can see, the gray, that's the cell shading effects. So 2 hands. Cool. We got a couple guns. We've got a pistol. I guess it's more like a laser pistol. And then we also have another gun. A assault rifle? A futuristic one. Maybe she borrowed one from Bishop. And then an accessory I totally forgot about is she comes with, and this is actually a pretty cool one, she comes with a baby Nightcrawler. Because for those of you who don't know, Mystique is the mother of Nightcrawler. So there he is, nicely wrapped up with his little pacifier. That's adorable. This might actually be worth the whole thing, even if her color's off from what I want. So let's pull her out. Here she is. And I've got to say, not that bad. To be honest, I thought the blue was going to be way worse. It actually looks good on camera. I like the way it looks on camera more than I do in my hands. But yeah, there she is, Mystique. Face looks good. Hair, very red. Her skull dress. No paint apps. Everything looks good. I gotta say, I think she actually turned out much better than, get rid of this baggie, much better than I expected. I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, god damn, you know, I'm gonna get a figure that I don't really want. There's no, swivel here for the boot cut. Unlike Gore the God Butcher here, who's got the little cut there, but I guess this is, I know the female figures usually have less articulation and less movement. But yeah, I gotta say, I actually really like how this turned out. We gotta get a shot of her holding Nightcrawler being a good mother. Rock my baby from the treetop. People chase you with pitchforks, and they will not stop. I gotta say, this accessory alone is kind of worth it. Like, this is just really cool to see. But yeah, I'm actually happy with how the Mystique looks. Another good addition for my Brotherhood of Mutants. Not a fan of these hands. What kind of hands are these? They're not really baby holding hands either, you know? Gotta hold them like, oh, Kurt Wagner, be careful. But yeah, I really like this accessory, actually. The figure's cool too, but baby Kurt Wagner. He's so cute. Like I said, big additions to my X-Men collection. I'm actually really happy with how Mystique turned out. Much better than I expected. We already saw the next character, so let's bring him on down, hailing from the Spider-Verse. Not Spider-Verse, but from the Spider-Man rogue of villains. We got Tombstone. This one I found at the toy show, and I was blown away, because I'm like, holy shit, this is still sealed. When I saw the box, I'm like, it looks a little plain, because sometimes what people do is they will take out the Build-A-Figure, repackage it, and just sell it like that, and you won't really notice at first glance. You just look at the box, you're like, oh yeah, that's the figure I want, and then it's like, wait a second, something's missing. So that's what I kind of noticed at first. I'm like, I feel like something's missing, but I went on the back, I saw that the Build-A-Figure was the Vulture, and it's the little propeller, and I'm like, oh, it's right there. This is actually complete. So I ended up buying this, and I was really stoked about this one. This is a Spider-Man villain I've wanted to grab for a while. Not the biggest Spider-Man villain, but he does have a lot of history with Spider-Man, so had to pick this one up eventually. I think the figure looks cool. This is a very old style. I think more modern interpretations of him is him more in like a suit. So this is based on his classic look. I would have liked another set of hands, but he just got punching hands. Kind of a plain look, but that's his look, just kind of like Gore, where he's, you know, basically all black except for the straight down, chest exposed, and he's got kind of a vampire look. I've been wanting this one for a while, so we'll just take a look at the box. There's Beetle. That's who he's kind of packaged with. I do have this Beetle already, so it's going to be nice to have the Tombstone along with it. There's the back there. Another shot of Tombstone. This is how I have it displayed in my collection, like this. On top, Spider-Man logo, because he is a Spider-Man villain. And the bottom. But yeah, really happy about this one. Been wanting this one for a very long time. Another big villain, somewhat big, kind of a newer Spider-Man villain some people might not be familiar with. That is the brand new 2-pack of Mr. Negative and an Inner Demon. This is just the thug that he was packaged with, but here we have Mr. Negative, first time in the Marvel Legends line, so that's really cool. And this is based from his look on the Marvel Spider-Man game. If you have not played that, definitely highly recommend. Martin Lee, also known as Mr. Negative, and comes packaged with the thug. I think that's a weird choice. Why not, you know, have Mr. Negative in a solo release, and then this in like a 2-pack, and you can, you know, put a bunch of accessories, because the accessories that come with the demon, a bunch of different masks and stuff. Wouldn't that be cool if there was 2 people in here? But now, if I want someone with each mask, I gotta buy 2 packs of these, so I can have one character with each mask. So that's kind of lame, to be honest, but it is what it is. To be honest, if they packaged the Inner Demons by themselves, I don't know if anybody would have bought them. That's just me. But I think everybody's buying this, just like I did, just for Martin Lee, Mr. Negative here. And I think he looks pretty good. We'll pop him at a box here in a second. But here's a little shot of them on the front in figure form. On this side, another shot of them in figures. On the other side, a shot of, I guess this would be like a render from the game. On top, we got a Spider-Man logo. On the bottom, a bunch of garbage. And as we showed before, on the back, all the different accessories. So I guess Mr. Negative doesn't get any accessories. These are all accessories for the Inner Demon. Mr. Negative, he just gets a sword, a cool little flaming sword. So let's pop this open and see what's inside. So again, tape has not been tampered with. Tape has not been tampered with. I'm going to cut it from the right side this time, which is this side, because I'm going to have it displayed like this. So it's not noticeable. Because now when I look at fucking gore, I'm going to be like, I opened it from that side. Dumb. But live and learn. Hey, I went through that, and now going forward, I cut it on the actual correct side. I feel like there's going to be a lot of small pieces here, as we saw on the back. And I've got so much packing to do back. I got to pack Gore. I got to pack Mystique. I'm going to have to do some more unpacking because there's one more figure we're going to be showing off after this. And I'm going to have to pack this one. So we got the accessories and instructions in here. We got 2 packs of accessories. Throw away the instructions. Let's open the accessories. What do we got here? We've got... Oh. Where'd the sword... Oh, here we go. So we've got the sword that Martin Lee carries. A little bit plain. Just white. No real detail on it. I mean, there are, like, detailings there, but none of them are really painted. It's not bad. We get the little flame effect, and you can slide it on the sword, just like that. There it is. We'll pop that in his hand, and we have flame effects. I believe these go around his wrist. Okay. We got, I believe this is the gun and weapons for the Inner Demon. So in that baggie we had a machete. Nice looking machete. This one had painted, like look, they even painted the little silver, or no. Yeah, is it silver? Or am I crazy? No, they painted the little silver dots. But yeah, I think the machete looks nice. Cut some heads off. Or hands, whatever you're using it for. We got the assault rifle here. Very tacticaled out. Got the little underbarrel attachment, little ACOG scope, stock, extended mags, I'm assuming. It's ready to play some COD. And we've got a nice little baseball bat. Nothing too much to say there. And then we got one more baggie full of accessories. I believe these are all the heads. Holy shit. There's a lot of stuff here. So we've got another weapon. We've got a pistol here with a silencer. Looking pretty sweet. And it also comes with a bunch of gun effects. So we've got smoke. Little smoke effects you can add to the barrel. We'll do a live demo of that. Maybe if I put it in the right way, that would help. So a little smoking barrel, cool. Or, so we get 2 of those, or you can put in a little blast effect, like they are actively shooting. Pew, 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 pew. Pretty cool, and we get 2 of those. So we get 2 of the smoke effects, boom, put that to the side, and 2 blast effects. And then we got 2 different hands for the Inner Demon, 2-fisted hands, as they're very well versed in the art of hand-to-hand combat. That is nice. And then we got the 2 head sculpts. We've got this one here, looking very menacing. I guess it's like a dragon mask. Hair looks good, like that. You can see the mask coming around. And the mask, I believe, is stuck to the face. Actually, no, there's a little bit of room there. I mean, if you rip it off, there's probably not a face. I believe it is added extra. So, head number 1. Then we got head number 2. Just do a little comparison with the first head. Kind of similar, slightly different. This one's more of a frowning face. And this guy wearing it is bald. Cool. Okay, who are we taking out first? Who's who? This is the Inner Demon. This is Martin Lee. He's very... Oh, they got cardboard in there. I was going to say he's very, like, rectangular. God, there's just baggies and fucking cardboard all over the place. He also comes with some cardboard. Cool. And let's take a look at the mask first. Looks very monkey-ish, kind of. And this gentleman is also bald. And body's pretty plain. Got little gun trigger hands. Nice little suit. Looks like mine's got a little speck. Oh, it came off. This is just like a nice plain body if you just wanted to like use this as a custom. You know, just pop the head off, pop on, you know, Tony Stark. Hell, you could probably even use it for like wrestling figures. You want to put somebody in like a street attire, you can do that. Nice little boots. I like the boots. They're nice and shiny. I like the design on them. I think the jeans look good, or dress pants. And I think the suit looks good. It's a little plain, but you know, for what it is, I think it looks good. Let's try putting on one of the other heads. Ooh, a little hard there. Let's put on the guy with hair. Since the guy that was already on here was bald. Give the people with hair a chance, you know? Yeah, it looks good. It just sucks. Like, if you want to have someone displayed with all three of these heads, you got to buy this thing 3 different times. That is unfortunate. We'll put the bat in this hand. Let's play ball. And there he is. Then the man of the hour, Martin Lee, Mr. Negative. Feels kind of small, but here he is. This is another figure that you can use for a custom. Just pop off the head, pop off the hands, and you can... I don't know who would wear, you know, all white, but I'm sure some villain out there, you know. Yeah, he looks pretty good too. The blue looks kind of weird. I think that's how he's supposed to look. Just looks kind of weird in person. And the hands are blue too. He doesn't get any... Yeah, he doesn't get any extra hands. I'm just double checking. He gets nothing. Only the Inner Demon gets the hands. Let's double check the paint. What sucks about white is if anything gets on it, it's pretty noticeable. Any little scuffs. But it's looking pretty clean. Let's look at the two guys together. Nice. Let's put his... so this would go around the wrist. Something like this. And then the sword, which already has the flame effect. I'm going to cut your head off, Spider-Man. Actually, he's got a kind of the same thing as... kind of looks like Gore. Kind of symbiote looking. Obviously, this is more like flame effect or whatever, but you can have a little sword battle between the two of these guys. Actually, let's just compare size. I know Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, is more of like a human. Gore towers over him. God damn. No challenge for Gore the God Butcher. I don't know. I know Mr. Negative's not... He's just like a regular guy. It just looked kind of scrawny to me. Maybe if they put on this body... Let's see, comparison. Yeah, maybe if they put him on a bigger body, like this. I don't know, he just feels so small. He feels like a child compared to the demon who's, you know, got some size on him. My light just fucking died. He's got at least almost an inch on him, to be honest. But other than that, I think he looks pretty good. Like, you can't really fuck him up. He's just white and black. It's hard to fuck up. He's got pretty minimal accessories, the little flame effects, the swords. Inner Demon's cool, but, you know, you gotta, if you want to use everything, you know, the 3 heads, the 2 guns here, the pistol and the machine gun, or the AR. And then you got the fucking machete and baseball bat, but you only got 1 guy to hold all these weapons. Like, what the heck? That kind of sucks. It's unfortunate, but, you know, I can see some really cool customs coming out of these body molds. I don't know who you would put on them, but I can see some definitely cool characters being made from these. So I'm going to do some cleanup. I'm going to come back with a fresh light here. But I got so many bags. I got Gore, I got Mystique, I got the Inner Demons, and I still have one more thing to unbox, and it's huge, and there's definitely going to be a lot of baggies. So give me 1 second to clean this area up. Packed everything away, and I guess I just did too good of a job because I was left over with 2 extra baggies. But I don't know, there's just so many accessories. I just try to everything that I put in it fit well. Nothing was like left out or no bag I felt was kind of overstuffed. Just had some extra baggies, but yes, everything is packed away. And finally, the last thing, I feel like I've been showing off figures for centuries, just, you know, with the opening of the figures to make sure everything's good. It's just a longer process, unfortunately, but we're ending out with a bang. Continuing the Spider-Man theme, and I had to save this one for last because, like I said, just a big box set full of characters. For me, I really like this set because it's a mixture of characters I'm not familiar with, characters I am familiar with, and characters that I want. So, you know, honestly, with Spider-Man, I'll take any cool addition. You know, we had Tombstone, we had Mr. Negative, and now joining the Spider-Man Villains Rogue Collection is the Amazon exclusive 5-pack Spider-Man. There's no like name for this, I believe. It's just like Spider-Man and 4 villains, Ultimate Spider-Man. So this is Ultimate Spider-Man and Symbiotes, and then you have the villains. It's too big. The box is just too big for the my shot, but there it is sideways. We can get everything, but I'll just kind of show it off like this and then kind of tilt it backwards. So we got Silvermane, cool. Ultimate Spider-Man, who is Symbiote Spider-Man here. Razorback, who I'm not familiar with. We have classic character Molten Man here, and this guy is the Human Fly, who I'm also not familiar with. So, yeah, cool little box. I really like this art style. I look forward to like all these box sets that are coming out. You know, we have the Strife one coming out, the 5-pack, the pretty random X-Men one coming out soon, and some box art came out for that, and that looks cool. So I do like this, and you know, also another box set that has some pretty cool art is the I forgot the name. It's the Life Foundation one with Venom, Riot, and Agony. That has some cool box art. So I actually really like these a lot. So I am a big fan of these. And yeah, so let's show off the box. So like I said, everything doesn't get into frame, but it is pretty long. I put everything away so I don't have anything to compare it to, unfortunately, like a regular Marvel Legends. But it is quite large. We get a side shot here of all the characters. So Razorback, Molten Man, Human Fly, Silvermane, and Spider-Man. Back, we got the bios for everybody. Spider-Man, we know. Silvermane, a somewhat notable villain. He's a mob kind of character. Human Fly, I kind of want to read. Richard Deacon. I don't know where I got Dinkin, whatever I said, was a small-time criminal before he coerced a geneticist into combining his DNA with a fly, giving him superhuman attributes and compound eyes. Interesting. Out of everything you can combine yourself with, why a fly? Does he like fruit? Does he just want to be annoying? I don't know. Weird one. Molten Man, kind of familiar with. And the other one, other character I'm not familiar with, the Razorback, just a very interesting looking character. Inspired by tales of costume adventurers on the East Coast, Arkansas trucker Buford Hollis takes up the mantle of Razorback with mixed results. Okay, I wouldn't expect nothing less of Razorback. My God, what a redneck fucking backstory for him. So there's the back real quick. This side is the same as the other one. Just little portraits of everybody. Show off the bottom. Plastic-free packaging. Boring stuff. And the top is Marvel Spider-Man. So, let's get into this bad boy. I'm going to cut it from the bottom. Oh, it is sealed. Let's make sure. Then we get the tape. Still sealed. And the top. Still sealed. So yeah, like I said, this is an Amazon exclusive. If you are interested, you can go pick it up now. It is a little bit more money because you're getting 5 figures. But honestly, this is a cool pack because, like, if they were to sell these by themselves, I don't think any of them would sell. Here we go. Look at everybody here. Wow, that is a lot of compartments. So nothing in the box. Hold on, let me put that down. Nothing in the box. Empty cardboard boy. Put that aside. And just look at all the goddamn compartments in this. My God, this looks like a tackle box, a fishing tackle box. I am not looking forward to putting this back together. This just seems like the biggest nightmare ever. I don't even know where to start. I thought the other ones were fucking complicated, but my God, look at this. This shit's ridiculous. This is like a Rubik's Cube. How do I lift? Oh, okay, hold on. Lift this. Hold on, this is coming out. Wait a minute, that might not have been good. Well, this guy's easy. This is Silvermane. Okay, we got one. This is Human Fly, his wings. I don't know what's in there. This one, maybe we can pull from this side. There we go, we got 2. We got some baggies here. We'll just take out all the small baggies. This is Razorback, and he looks ginormous. Like, look at this compared to, like, Silvermane. He's all head, I guess. Everyone else looks like they are absolutely complicated to take out. Okay, shimmied my way to, this is Mutant Man. Ah, this baggie ripped. I don't know if it was me or when I was taking it out. I feel like the cardboard definitely would have potentially done that. And then last but not least, we got Razorback. And hold on. I'm lifting this up. I just need a little bit of room. But he needs a lot of room. Okay, he is out. I somehow have to get everything back in here eventually. And I'm going to have to watch the video back just to kind of like watch it backwards to see how I took everything out. So that was fun. Not really. Let's start with the character I'm not excited about at all. That'd be Spider-Man here. I already have a Spider-Man figure. I have the, well, I have a couple Spider-Mans, to be honest. Actually, we should start with the baggies, all the accessories, and then I can match it with the characters. Whatever, fuck it, I already got Spider-Man out. Here we got Ultimate Spider-Man, Spidey, and you might be probably saying, like, how do you know it is Ultimate Spider-Man? The big eyes, the small torso, and Ultimate Spider-Man. He's more of a kid, where, you know, the regular Spider-Man, Earth 616, he is like a teenage, well, was a teenager. Now he's like probably around the same age as me, probably now. But yeah, here we have Spider-Man in the symbiote suit. I do like the like purplish look to him. It doesn't really pick up well on the camera, but he is very purpley. There, you can kind of see it there. Like a dark purple, but on the camera it looks pretty black. But you can see the purple hues, kind of. But he is more purple than the camera is letting on. But yeah, he looks pretty good, to be honest. Like I said, smaller in size. We'll compare him to... Here's Mutant Man. I don't know if I finished my thought. I do have a Spider-Man, a symbiote Spider-Man from the retro-carded one. So this is like the least excited I am for a figure in the set. Everyone else is brand new. I don't have. But with this one, since it is Ultimate Spider-Man, I don't have an Ultimate Spider-Man. Maybe I would have liked a more classic look for that, but whatever. What are you going to do? And you can see Mutant Man just kind of towers over our Ultimate Spider-Man Peter here. So Yeah, least excited for him, but he did turn out pretty cool, and I like how the spider symbiote looks. Looks good. I would have liked the little white cartridges here, like the Venom typically has. That would have been a cool touch. I think he uses more of a symbiote. He doesn't have the web cartridges. I could be wrong. I have read some Ultimate Spider-Man, but not too much of Venom in the Ultimate universe. So we're gonna put him aside, and we're gonna open the small baggies first, and then I can kind of match them to whatever the characters are. Now, unfortunately, on this back of the box, we don't see like which characters come with accessories. Where like Mr. Negative, we could see that, you know, comes with these figures, these accessories, and yeah, that was not the case with this one. But I do like the biographies, especially for these more unusual characters. But here we have 2 translucent wings in one baggie. We'll put those on Human Fly and test it out. In another baggie, we have some accessories for Molten Man. So this is like a little fire piece that would sit on the back of his neck. And then we have a similar flame effect, kind of like what Mr. Negative had around the wrists. And then last but not least for Molten Man, it seems fisted hands. So here we go, left and right. Give him the 1-2, 1-2. And they look pretty good. Nice little effects on them because he is made of hot lava. This next one I pulled out is Spider-Man hands. So we have some thwipping hands. So if he does do the thwip, why not put the web? Why not put the little webbing slot there? So we got the thwip hands. And we also have wall crawling hands. There they are. Next set of accessories is for Silvermane. I guess everyone gets their own baggie, and then I guess this one's for Razorback. But yeah, we have Silvermane's here. We got 2 gun trigger hands. Nice little robot hands for him in his suit. There they are. And he also comes with 2 guns. First one is a pistol of sorts, kind of like a shotgun pistol. And then the other one is a shotgun. I guess it could kind of also be a revolver because you got the chambers there, 6 chambers. Last accessory bag, we have 2 weird ones. The weird piece I have in my hand, but we'll talk about that in a second. So first, for Razorback, we got 2 hands. Just kind of gripping hands. Just regular green, that's it. And then I have this weird piece. I don't know where it goes or what it's for. I mean, it kind of looks like a crotch piece to some degree. But we'll see when we see the figure. But yeah, this came in the baggie. I don't know what for. Okay, who are we going to look at first? Let's take, well, we already saw Spider-Man. I'm saving Razorback for last, for sure, because he just looks ginormous. Let's go Human Fly. Looking alright. He's got the bug eyes. And they're textured, like a fly's eyes would be. Nice screaming head. Probably because he's like, oh my god, I'm a fly. Why did I make this terrible decision? And then we could see the body. Just a very simple yellow yellow uniform, yellow suit. He's got like an arrow design on his gauntlets. And I just realized, I guess those green hands I just showed off were not for Razorback. Maybe Razorback does not have any accessories because I just realized, because there's 2 wings here. I believe this is a back piece for Human Fly. So let's try out his wings. So the way it works, this goes into his back like this. Press it in, boom, we hear a click. And then we slide these wings in. I don't know if there's a right way or not. Just slide this one in like this. Maybe I should have put the wings on before I put this on his back. That was probably a good idea. Yeah, let's do that, because I think I just made my life harder. God, that's if this wants to come out. Holy shit, this is in there. Oh no, did I fuck up? Did I fuck up by doing this first? Okay, I managed to get it out. Was quite hard. Now let's see if we can get the wings into this. Oh my god, I popped it in, but it was so difficult. Holy shit, but it does go up and down. And give me a minute, I will do the other one. But holy shit, this was not easy at all. Okay, second one was easy. I guess I learned the amount of force that I needed to put into it. Okay, so we got the wings. Let's put it on his little back. And there he is. The human fly. He honestly reminds me of Arthur from The Tick. Just he looks dumb. He's got the wings, ridiculous colored suit. I would love some Tick figures, honestly. That would be a cool one to get. This is as far back as the wings go. So if you wanted to fly him, you can put the head up. Or you can put the wings up. I believe I have the wings correct, right? Or are they supposed to be the other way? Well, no, it should be like this. Yeah, I believe this is correct. Yeah, I don't believe so. But part of me really does want to tuck them down. But, yeah, there he is. Human fly. Not bad. Not bad with the wings. They were a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I kind of like it. We'll do a little sideshow with him and Spidey. There we go. Towers over Spidey as well. So Spidey really overcame the odds fighting all these grown men. We're going to go with Molten Man next. This is one of the classic Spidey villains. He's been around for quite some time. And here he is. Also has the cardboard between the legs. And he is a plain looking guy because he is all one color because he is Molten Man. He's got a loose belt. Don't know if I like that. I don't even know if he should have a belt. Just seems kind of weird. It's got flame effects on the hands. Not bad. But there's no flame effects on the fisted hands, which would have been cool as well. But he gets a right-fisted hand and a regular right-fisted hand that's not a flaming punch. Weird choice. That's just me. But yeah, here he is. Pretty... very golden. Nice golden color to him. Just a regular kind of evil looking head. Got the crew cut kind. Not a crew cut, but it's kind of like a very military style head. And I see the eyes. The eyes are white. The pupils. They're like silvery compared to the rest of his body, which is all like golden. That was cool. They gave his pupils some color. Not bad. Back, nothing there. There he is. We'll throw in his flame effects for the heck of it. So that just kind of wraps around his neck and his back. Nothing to plug in. Just pop it on. And then we have these. I guess these are for the other fisted hands, because I don't really see a reason to put these on now. I guess we'll change one. So we'll take off the hand, we'll wrap this around his little wrist here. And then throw on the other hand. Boom. Then you can kind of slide it down and put it however you'd like. I don't think I got any of that on camera. I was just noticing. But there, that's what it looks like. So he's got one hand with the regular flame effect and the other one with the accessory. So... not bad, not much to say about him, but it's cool to have him around because, like I said, he is a classic Spider-Man villain. Not a big one. He's definitely like a C, D level hero, but I don't even think we'll ever see him in a movie or anything like that. But just a cool character to in that Spider-Man mythos. Cool to finally have him, and we'll do a little side shot with him as well. There they are, and then I guess we'll do. Two of the most colorful guys in the group here. Actually, Razorback's kind of colorful too because he's got the same colors as Human Fly. We are saving Razorback for last, which means the next one is Silvio Silvermane. And I feel like whenever you say his name, Silvio Silvermane, you have to say Silvio Silvermane. You gotta say both, because that's how Kingpin says it. And he says it with such disgust. He is very shiny as well. Molten Man was very shiny with the gold, and Silvio Silvermane is very shiny with the silver. I don't know about these feats. I don't know where they're from. They're interesting, but I don't know if that's accurate. I mean, I don't know too much about Silvermane in this body. I just know him as like the gangster from the animated show. But there he is with all his old people freckles. Oh shit, got a little bit of paint mishap there. If we look carefully, got some silver on the face there, and then here there's a big scratch right there. Big scratch there with that shows the human color. That's a little upsetting. Another scratch kind of up here as well. So on the ear here, and then a little bit up on the head. Like I said, he comes with the guns, but he's got fisted hands, so it'd be cool if he had some built in, kind of like Iron Man War Machine. Just like a little gun in the gauntlet or something like that. But yeah, he doesn't look bad. Cool character to have. And last but not least, the character that I'm most excited for, and is just gigantic. This is just a gigantic guy, but he is mostly head, but he is very heavy. But I am talking about Razorback. So I'm very interested to see the articulation, especially with the gigantic bore on his head. How the arms will work. Seems to be as high as they can go. This is somewhat soft, so there's a little bit of give. Does have a pretty basic costume, but he is thick. Like, these legs are thick. My God, let's compare him to the Spider-Man. Now, the Spider-Man is like based on a child, but holy fuck. He's got some thighs on him, man. He is very heavy. I don't even think it's the head. Yeah, as far as the costume looks a little bluish on the camera, but it's pretty green. I'd say it's like an aqua green. And he does not come with accessories unless I missed a little baggie, which I don't believe I did. I believe I opened everything. Just double checking. Yeah, he does not come with any accessories, so this is just how you get him. Just like that. But yeah, he's a cool one. I like the head. Not too bad. Let me see if I can stand them all up. Alright, there we see all the figures posed together. Again, this is an Amazon exclusive 5-pack, so it's only available on Amazon. I'm going to be honest, I would probably wait a little bit unless you're a super Spider-Man fan like me. It is a little more on the expensive side, especially right now. It is a new release. You could probably snag up a decent little deal coming up around Christmas, Boxing Day type of thing. I know Boxing Day is not big in America, but Boxing Day is kind of like Canada's, and I think Europe too, are kind of our big Black Friday, like Boxing Day, that's the day after Christmas. So you can probably pick up a decent little deal here, and we do celebrate Black Friday as well, but we also have Boxing Day because consumerism, hell yeah. But yeah, as far as the pack, I think it's actually not bad. It's all right. Like, it's nothing crazy. Like, if you're just like an ordinary, I don't want to say ordinary, if you're just like a regular Spider-Man fan, you're probably not going to pick up this pack. There's no reason for you to, because you probably are not familiar with all these characters. Like I said, I'm only familiar with 3 out of 5, and one of them Spider-Man, so I don't feel like he should count. So yeah, Spider-Man's got an pretty awesome rogues gallery. I think it rivals Batman's. Not as legendary, but it's almost as comparable in my opinion. And yeah, these are not real any standouts, but there's some cool ones. Razorback, Just a cool, interesting look. Boar on his head. Molten Man and Human Fly, they didn't want to stand, so they get put on their knees. Molten Man looks alright, no real complaints there. You can't really do too much with his design. Spider-Man, a figure that I was not really excited for in this package. Probably one of my favorites from here. I just like the small figure, the small frame of him, especially the Ultimate Spider-Man, like I was talking about, where he's more of a teenager, like young teenager. Now, it's not accurate to the comics, so that's another thing. If you're a big stickler, like Ultimate Spider-Man, I don't believe fought any of these guys. So if you're really picky about that kind of stuff, that's going to annoy you. I actually do really like the Spider-Man. It turned out quite well. I do like the more purple hue on the symbiote, to where the other symbiote figure that I have it's black. Human Fly, he looks all right. Like I said, he kind of reminds me of Arthur from The Tick. And if you're not familiar with The Tick, very underrated cartoon. I hope they make figures. There are figures of him, but I want re-release. I could see Super 7 doing some cool Tick figures. But yeah, Human Fly, again, not really a crazy looking design. I do like the wings. Wish they were a little easier to pop into that little backpack on his back. Other than that, I think the figure's fine. And then we got Silvio Silvermane, interesting little robot body. And like I said, he's more of a gangster. Yeah, I think he looks fine. I don't really have any complaints. But like I said, the package is a little on the more expensive side. Unless you're a super duper Spidey fan like myself, this is either going to be a pass or a wait for a sale. Yeah, other than that, I don't really have any complaints on this. It's pretty cool. It's going to be a nice little addition to my Spider-Man collection. That is going to be it for the figure showing off. We're going to talk about some news bits very quickly. Like I said, this video has gone on for quite a bit, and I'm not trying to do the longest video ever. But that's what you get when a whole month of figures and shit to talk about in one video. Let's jump into that news segment, and we'll be right back. Now we're just going to quickly go through some news topics on some of the stuff that I collect, and just a couple things that I pre-ordered. So we'll quickly go through the pre-order stuff. So I finally pre-ordered that Marvel Legends X-Men Villains 5-pack that we talked about in the last episode, which includes Strife, Vertigo, Random, Zero, and Pretty Boy. I don't have any of those figures, so I'll definitely be picking that up for my X-Men collection. Nice little random assortment of X-Men villains and characters. I don't think all of them are villains. I know Strife for sure is, Vertigo is, Pretty Boy is, Zero and Random, I'm not too sure if they're villains or just random X-Men characters. That is supposed to be coming out in May or June of next year, so it's going to be a little bit, but I've got mine reserved for whenever that comes. And for that, you can just buy it wherever. Me personally, I bought it on GameStop because I am a member, whatever, the gold member, whatever the fuck membership thing they have, but you get 10% off your purchase, so I ended up buying it there. Saved me a little bit of change, so can't really complain. Next, I pre-ordered Dragon Ball SH Figuarts Super Saiyan Trunks. The little tagline for it is Boy from the Future. This was announced at some con or something like that. They announced a couple different SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures. I don't have a direct, kind of consistent news source for SH Figuarts, so I'm kind of looking for one, but this kind of just popped up on my radar. Actually, I saw it on a pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store, and then I saw the other ones. They also announced a Super Saiyan Vegeta and a Pam, Gohan's daughter, Pam. I think it's Pam, P-A-M, and she's just a little kid. That I didn't pre-order. I just pre-ordered the Trunks. That's my classic looking Trunks. I love that look when he first debuted in Dragon Ball Z. One thing I really like about this figure is not only do you get the Super Saiyan Trunks, you get the Super Saiyan head, but you also get a regular Trunks head with his purple hair. So that's a really cool thing. You also get a sword that goes in his back. So that's really cool, and I look forward to that. I think that also has a June release date. For this one, I got it off Big Bad Toy Store. And for anything that I've pre-ordered, if you are interested, I'll put links in the description. The GameStop one might not work because it's a Canadian GameStop link, but you can also grab that 5-pack off Big Bad Toy Store if you're interested. So yeah, those are the only two things I pre-ordered. I didn't pre-order anything else. That was really the only thing that... there was some other stuff that was announced, but I didn't pre-order it. The pre-orders were just the two things that I mentioned. Next, we're going to jump into some news topics, some cool stuff that was announced. First, we're going to start out with some Transformers Retro Beast Wars news. So, I did a little digging because I was kind of curious about the Retro Beast Wars line. Because I'm like, they haven't announced anything. What's going on here? Is it canceled? Whatever. And I saw this little article from, I believe, August of this year, where they announced some leaks for the Retro Beast Wars line of characters called Iguanus and Canine. I was like, okay, those are some figures we can look forward to, but they could potentially be canceled. And then there was a Hasbro Pulse. They were having like a Black Friday sale, so I was kind of looking through all the different brands to see if there's anything I wanted to buy. And what do you know, I just stumble upon that Canine figure just randomly up to order whenever you want. Like, no pre-order, nothing. I don't believe there was even an announcement. Like, they just had it up there. So I don't know if someone fucked it up and put it up early or what the case may be, but yeah, if you want, that Canine figure is up for order on Hasbro Pulse. I did not order it. I was thinking about doing it for the Black Friday thing, but it wasn't on sale. It was regular price, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll hold off, and I'd rather buy some stuff that's like actually a pretty good deal. So that stuff will be coming later, hopefully in December. Actually, I already received it. And we'll be showing it off in December. But as far as the Canine figure, it looks pretty cool. It's basically a repaint of the Wolfgang figure. And, you know, that's more of a dog, where Wolfgang was obviously a wolf. But this one's like a German Shepherd. And I think it looks cool. I look forward to that. Definitely I plan on grabbing that. And then as far as Iguanus, there's no update on that. But just seeing the Canine randomly just showing up on Hasbro Pulse with no announcement, nothing, just a dry post, I just thought it was kind of mind-blowing. So yeah, again, it's for order. You can order it. No pre-order. Just order it and it'll be delivered. Next, we have some TMNT Best Action news. This one was pretty cool. I didn't pre-order it because I'm not interested in this version, but it was announced that the Loyal Subjects announced a new TMNT figure for their Best Action line, and that was Krang XL. So this is him in that gigantic suit of his where it's like a bald white guy. The suit has a name. I just don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But the way it's labeled on Big Bad Toy Store is Krang XL. So that's just what I'm going to refer to it as. And it looks really cool. The only thing I'm not too hot about is it is based on like a video game, so it's got like a more video game color scheme to it. So I look forward to them hopefully re-releasing it with like a regular color scheme, because I do want to buy it. It does look cool, but just the way it is now, I'm not a fan. But it was a cool announcement that they are going to be doing some bigger figures. For me, I just hope that they announce more characters to buy, like Slash, Master Splinter, April, Vernon, the news anchor, and just a couple other guys. Toka and Razor, I hope they get announced. That'd be cool. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool characters in that TMNT world, so hopefully they announce that. Next, we got some DC Multiverse teasers from McFarlane. On Instagram, they posted little teasers they posted a bunch, but the 4 that I was really interested in was Superboy in that classic like leather jacket look. I'm not a big Superboy fan, but I had a Superboy figure as a kid, and when I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit! I have that Superboy figure. I might need to grab that." So when they announce it, I'm probably gonna order it. But just a little teaser got me hyped up. Another teaser was for Riddler. This is based on his look from Arkham City. I already got the other Arkham City figures, as you saw this video, and I look forward to having a Riddler in my collection finally, because he's kind of one of the more bigger Batman villains that hasn't got any figures yet. Like, we do have the movie figure of his, but Riddler, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, these are some of the big cats that I would like to see coming up soon. Actually, another Batman villain that also got teased was Mr. Freeze. This, I think, is a very sought-after figure from fans, highly requested. So I look forward to getting to seeing more shots of it. You can't really tell too much about it from the little image that they posted, but just the fact that a Mr. Freeze figure is coming, that is cool. And I don't believe it's based on the Arkham It's definitely not based on the Arkham figures. It's based on some comic run, I believe. And then the last one that they teased was a Jay Garrick, who is the original Flash, the Flash with the helmet and it has the wings. They recently released one, part of some weird wave. They did Kid Flash, Wally West, Barry Allen, and Jay Garrick, and they were all in like these different colors. I'm not sure what it was definitely some comic story. I'm not sure what it was, but as far as like a classic looking Jay Garrick, it looks really dope, and I look forward to adding that to my Flash collection. Couple more things here. Next, it was a leak for Power Rangers Lightning Collection. This came in at November 30th, right at the buzzer beater, and it was revealed from a UK toy store online that they're going to be releasing the Alien Rangers, and it's going to be a 5-pack, so we're going to be getting the whole team complete in one go, which is pretty cool, because I know some people are annoyed that these figures that come in waves, there's kind of no consistency with the characters that come out. You can't really tell too much, but hey, it looks cool. I'm excited. I like the Alien Rangers personally. I like their suits. They're very plain, but I do like the design on them. And I don't think they're gonna come with the head, at least from the little shot that was revealed. So that I'm honestly not surprised. That does kind of suck, but I honestly was not expecting them to come with the heads. But it would have been cool if they did, because I think it would have been easy to do, in my opinion, with just a little head. Like, you have the alien headpiece, and with this wave, it's 4 males, so you can kind of just keep the same eyes, and then change the jaw, mouth structure, and, you know, the pigment of the skin, and then you have 1 female, Delphine, as the leader, the White Ranger. So I think it could have been easy and doable, but, you know, whatever. I'm not too heartbroken about that, but that's going to be coming soon, and this is actually going to be an Amazon exclusive, which Hasbro seems to be doing. You know, they have the 5-pack with Spider-Man that we showed off. That's an Amazon exclusive. The Venom 3-pack that's coming out soon. Well, it's kind of coming out now. I forgot the name of it, but it's the Life Foundation one. That's an Amazon exclusive. So they seem to be doing box sets as Amazon exclusives, except for the one that we mentioned earlier, the X-Men Villains 5-pack. That will not be an Amazon exclusive. That will be across multiple retailers. So I look forward to that whenever that is officially announced. But yeah, just the leak. I'm hoping 2023 is a big year for Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Last but not least is a bunch of wrestling figure reveals. They had a huge event. I think it had to do with they released this ringside exclusive 2-pack of the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, and I believe they just had a big event for it. I think it was at Hulk Hogan's shop. Actually, no, now that I'm saying this, I believe that was the case. Hulk Hogan has a store somewhere in Florida or Tampa, Florida. Well, it's the same shit, basically. The Mattel crew came through and revealed a bunch of wrestling figures. They revealed Elite 90. Well, they didn't reveal Elite 99. That was announced as well during the month, which is going to be Elite 99 is Baron Corbin, Matt Riddle, Brock Lesnar, Queen Selena, Seth Rollins, and the Boogeyman. For me personally, this wave is a skip. I have all these people, so I'm not really interested in that. They revealed Elite 100, which is going to be Stone Cold. Well, not Stone Cold, more Steve Austin. The Rock, Becky Lynch, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, and Andre the Giant. I wouldn't say it's a crazy lineup for Elite 100. That's kind of what I was expecting, like them to just come out with the big dogs and just pump out like a huge named wave. One of the cool things about this wave is everyone comes with a title. So you got Stone Cold, or he's not Stone Cold here, he's Steve Austin. This is from his WCW run. I think he comes with the WCW television title. I'm not sure if it's NWA or WCW at that time, but it's a nice looking title. It's got the red strap, the silver plates, and it's a really cool looking title. I really like how it turned out. We got The Rock, he comes with the Brahma Bull title. Becky Lynch comes with the Raw Women's title. We got Rey Mysterio, this is from WCW, so we're going to be getting the WCW Cruiserweight title for the first time ever. really cool. I think for the most part, we'll pretty much have all the WCW titles after this. Off the top of my head, I know we're missing one more, which is the Hardcore title, and I think this is a perfect time to release a Norman Smiley Elite, the Big Wiggle, and for him to come with the WCW Hardcore title. Who else are you going to package the WCW Hardcore title with? Tell me. There's only one person, and it's Norman Smiley, so hopefully that comes out sometime in 2023. That wasn't announced. That's just kind of something I'm hoping for if they do release the WCW Hardcore title. But yeah, getting the WCW Cruiserweight title is pretty cool. And then we got John Cena. He comes with the spinner belt, the old WWE spinner belt, and Andre the Giant. For him, he comes in civilian clothes. He comes in a suit, and he comes with a title. I don't know if it's the WWF or just WWF heavyweight title, but that's a nice looking title. I really like how that turned out a lot, and honestly I might buy that figure just for that belt because I really like how it turned out. It really looks like a world heavyweight title. And they also announced Elite 101, which is going to be Mr. America, Ricochet, Kevin Owens, Sonya Deville, Johnny Knoxville, and Cody Rhodes. This, I think, might be another pass for me. The only one I might be interested in would be Cody Rhodes. But I have the AEW Cody Rhodes, so I don't know if I want to get the WWE Elite Cody Rhodes. We'll see when, more shots of it. And once we kind of get closer to that time, I might change my mind. But as far for me right now, this whole wave will probably be a skip as well. A couple other reveals that happened as well. They revealed a bunch of Ultimate figures, which they announced a AJ Styles Ultimate, Razor Ramon, Seth Rollins, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake, Rick Rude, and Cody Rhodes. For me personally, I've never picked up an Ultimates figure yet. I'm still waiting for that perfect figure. This AJ is really nice. I do like how that turned out. But I think all of these will probably be a skip for me. I want to collect the Ultimate figure. I just don't know how it scales with the Elite. And for me personally, if I do buy an Ultimate figure, I want it to be of someone that I don't have, or someone that kind of needs a new updated figure in my collection. So all of these are kind of skips for me, but the figures do look really cool. And another Ultimate Edition figure that was revealed during the month of November. This is separate from the Hogan event. There's a couple other reveals, nothing really too noteworthy, mainly just nothing new. When I say noteworthy, nothing really new. There was a cool Dolph Ziggler that was revealed in a pink attire. For me, I have a Dolph Ziggler, so I'm not really looking for one. Other than that, it was more basics and stuff. They announced a Ultimate Edition Logan Paul earlier in the month. That looked pretty cool. For me personally, I'm not interested, but the figure did turn out pretty well from what I saw. And this one, I believe, is like an exclusive to some Mattel website. That I'm not too sure where you can buy, but you can't buy it on like your typical like Ringside Collectibles, Amazon, Walmart, stuff like that. It's on like I think it's on Mattel's actual like toy site. So with that, if you are interested, if they even have any more, I know it went up for pre-order November 25th, and I'm not sure if it's sold out or not yet. So I'm not too sure. I wasn't too interested, so I didn't really keep up with it. Just more so the announcements. And yeah, that's about it for wrestling figures. I was kind of surprised there was no AEW figure reveals, because usually when they have a pay-per-view, and they had Full Gear in November, they usually kind of incorporate it with like a fan fest where they'll reveal figures and upcoming waves. Now, I don't know if they would have revealed anything new, but they can kind of announce the next few waves, put them up for pre-order or something like that. But I was just really surprised there was no AEW figure announcement reveals at the Full Gear event. So that kind of surprised me quite a bit. But hey, WWE and Mattel made up for it by just announcing a boatload of stuff. And there was other stuff that was announced too, like classic figures or whatever it's called. Like those lines I'm not too interested. For me personally, it's all about the Elites. But there was a ton of other stuff that was announced in the month of October, or in the month of November. I apologize. So yeah, they really came on strong. But yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for me in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's a long one. If you managed to watch the whole thing, I really appreciate that. Let's put a little comment section saying. So if you did watch all the way through, I want you to put in the comment section, go Power Rangers. As I'm recording this, I'm at my little monitor, and right in front of me is my Lightning collection, and I'm just looking at my Mighty Morphin collection, so it kind of just came to my mind. Go Power Rangers in the description or in the comment section if you watch through the whole thing. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed all the things I showed off, my new collection, and a bunch of other things. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Look forward to the next video that's going to be coming out early January for all the stuff that we got in December. I don't know if it's, right now it's looking a little light as I'm recording this. I did order a few things off Black Friday. I've gotten most of it, but I don't know. I say it could be a light month, and then I just end up picking up a bunch of stuff throughout the month because of deals and shit like that going into Christmas. We'll have to wait to see till January, but again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep up with everything that's going on the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time, and until then, guys, peace out.